Ayaw pa rin mag-school ng friend kong si Brian. Kasi daw may COVID pa.
Ano namang sinabi mo sa kanya, apo?
Ang sabi ko po, hindi naman po talaga papasok sa school eh. Sa bahay lang mag-aaral hanggat may COVID pa.
Ano namang sagot niya?
Tapos sabi niya, paano daw mag-aaral sa bahay wala namang teacher sa bahay? Di ba nga Lola? Ano nga ulit nung tawag doon sa hindi naman papasok sa school pero mag-aaral pa rin?
Apo, ang tawag niyan ay distance learning.
Yun nga po, mag-aaral pa rin kami gamit ng computer. Di ba Lola?
Oo, pero bukod sa online, may mga lessons din na ipapalabas sa TV at radio para makapag-aral pa rin ang mga bata kahit wala kayong computer at internet.
Paano po kapag wala ring TV at radyo?
May ipamimigay na mga printed material ang mga teachers sa inyo.
Di ba po ang tawag dun blend.
Ako, blended learning. Ibig sabihin ng blended learning ay gagamitin ang iba't ibang pamamaraan ng pagtuturo gamit ang internet, ang TV, radyo at ang print para hindi kailangang pumunta sa school ng mga teachers at mga bata.
Kaya po pala si Teacher Rose hindi na rin kailangan pumasok ng school.
Tama, hindi na rin papasok ang mga teachers sa school para gagabayan pa rin nila kayo at laging tatawagan ang mga magulang para kukumustahin ang pag-aaral ng mga bata tulad mo.
Tumawag nga po si Teacher Rose sa nanay. Ang sabi niya, mag-download ng DepEd Commons sa cellphone Games ba yun, Lola?
May kasama ding games, pero yung may matutunan ka. May mga lessons din kasi sa DepEd Commons na pwedeng gamitin ng mga magulang at teachers para maturuan ang mga bata.
Sasabihin ko rin po kay Brian na mag-download siya ng DepEd Commons.
At sabihin mo rin sa kanya na huwag na siyang matakot mag-school. Dahil sa pasukan, sa bahay lang naman kayo mag-aaral. Gamit ang internet. Kung walang internet, TV. Kung walang TV, radyo. At kung walang radyo, ay print.
Oo nga po, Lola. Hindi naman po pala dapat huminto sa pag-aaral kahit may COVID
Magtutulungan kami para magpatuloy ang edukasyon.
Sasamahan kita kahit isang eroplano ang agwat nating dalawa. Dahil kung nakakapagsalita lamang ang paliparan, ikukwento niya kung ilang beses akong lumingon pabalik sa'yo nung araw na ako'y lumisan. Papalubog ang araw noon at dahan-dahan lumulubog din ang puso ko sa kalungkutan. Ayaw sana kitang iwan. Gusto kitang samahan. Sa mga umagang nagmamadali ka papasok sa eskwela. Gusto kitang damayan sa mga gabing nahihirapan ka sa matematika. Gusto kitang yakapin sa tuwing gusto mo nang sumuko dahil akala mo'y wala kang talento sa pagpinta. Ngunit anak, gusto kong ipaalam sa'yo na ikaw ang nagpinta ng buhay ko. Nang dumating ka, naging makulay ang mundo ko. Ang dating mga baluktot na linya ay naging tuwid. Ang dating madilim na larawan ay nabigyan ng liwanag. Kaya anak, gusto pa rin kitang samahan sa bawat mong karanasan, sa mga tagumpay at kabiguan. Sasamahan kita hanggang marating mo ang mga ulap, hanggang maabot mo ang iyong mga pangarap.
Hello, Ma?
Hello anak, sorry kakatapos lang ng trabaho ni Mama.
Okay lang po, Ma. Kakatapos lang din naman po namin maglaro.
Mukhang nandyan ka ulit sa paborito mong lugar ah. O sige, ready ka na ba? Punta ka na sa DepEd Commons. Math tayo ngayon ha. Saan na nga ulit tayo nahinto kahapon? Sa problem solving na, di ba? Anak, sasamahan kita. Kahit isang eroplano ang agwat nating dalawa.
Good morning po, good morning. Magandang umaga po sa lahat ng mga public school teachers, school heads, teachers, and our PSDSS, EPSS, and SGOD team. And once again, welcome to our division webinar workshop training, Elevated and Empowered Education Designing and Implementing Sustainable and Learner-Centered Education Innovations, which is actually facilitated by our Division Innovation Committee and our TWG. Our resource speaker will be, again, Sir Francis Jim B. Toscano. This is brought to you by DepEd Angela City. Smiles Bright, Serves Right. We are now on the second day of our innovation webinar workshop training. And to begin our morning, may I invite you all for the singing of the community song, followed by the opening prayer. So please stand by.
Salamat, Panginoon, sa regalo ng buhay na siyang nagsisilbing daluyan ng iyong biyaya sa aming kapwa. Dalangin namin, Panginoon, na magamit namin ang bawat talentong ipinagkaloob mo sa amin. Sa oras na ito, itinataas namin ang aming webinar upang mapaghandaan namin ang pagbabago sa aming pagtuturo. Bigyan niyo po kami ng sapat na talino at kalakasan upang magampanan namin ang misyong ipinagkatiwala mo sa amin. Basbasan niyo po ang bawat mag-aaral at ang kanilang mga magulang sa kanilang mga dinaranas na pagsubok at ito ay hindi maging balakid sa pagtuklas ng bagong karunungan. Dalangin namin ang bawat leader ng aming departamento na patuloy niyo silang gabayan sa mga desisyon at pagpaplano para sa kapakanan ng bawat isa. Panginoon, buong pagpapakumbaba kaming humihingi ng iyong kapatawaran para sa mga pagkakataong kami natakot at humina ang aming pananampalataya sa gitna ng krisis ng mundo. Dalangin namin, Panginoon, pagkalooban niyo po kami ng grasya na kami ay maging matatag at kami magtiwala sa inyong mga salita na hindi mo kami pababayaan. Ang lahat ng ito ay aming panalangin sa pangalan ng aming Panginoong Yesus. Amen.
All right, there you go. Thank you so much. And once again, welcome to the Division Webinar Workshop Training on Innovation, the Elevated and Empowered Education and Designing and Implementing Sustainable and Learner-Centered Education Innovation. And today we will be having our second day brought to you by DepEd Angela City, Smiles Bright Serves Right. So before that, gusto po naming batiin ang lahat po ng ating mga participants, no, na nire-request po namin kayong mag-comment with your name and the name of the school kapag tinawag po namin kayo. And meron din po kaming mga ilan-ilan pong ipa-flash po namin sa screen na kung saan nakapasok po ang ating mga technical team para i-feature po sila. So we have here on the screen, hindi ko po alam kung anong school po ito. Pwede po ba nating ipasok, Sir Avenir? This is EPSA. Ayun, EPSA Elementary School. Tama po ba? Pasok po natin. Ayun. Hello po. Good morning po mga ma'am and sir. Yan. Kaway naman po kayo. Alam ko po, delay po ang audio natin dyan. So once marinig po ninyo, kaway lang po kayo at mag-turn on po kayo ng camera para makita po namin kayo. We can see here that there are at least 45 plus participants po, teacher participants na nakapasok po sa kanilang MS Teams. We do have other schools po na nakalagin din po sa MS Teams. Kumbaga ito po yung nagsisilbing breakout room po natin. So kaway po kayo, once marinig nyo po kami, pwede rin po kayong mag-message, EPSA Elementary School, kung tama po ba ang aking pagkakabanggit. No? Ayan, EPSA Resettlement Elementary School. Alright. Open cam po kayo. Baka delay pong audio natin, no? Kasama din po natin ang Gueco Balibago Elementary School. Andyan po ba ang ating mga kasama from Gueco Balibago Elementary School? Ayun, on cam po kayo. Balibago Elementary School. Andyan po ba ang ating mga kasama from Gueco Balibago Elementary School? Yan, turn on po kayo ng camera. Balibago Elementary School. Andyan po ba ang ating mga kasama from Gueco Balibago Elementary School? Yan, turn on po kayo ng camera. Balibago Elementary School. Andyan po ba ang ating mga kasama from Gueco Balibago Elementary School? Ayan. Ano po ang next school natin? Bigyan nyo lang ng camera. Balibago Elementary School. Andyan po ba ang ating... O, pakita po natin ulit ang EPSA Resettlement Elementary School. Pasok po natin. Yan. Mag-turn on po kayo ng camera para makita po namin kayo. Yan, pagka naka-off po ang camera, hindi po kasi siya lilitaw. Yan. Alright, kanina po nakita po ninyo ay ang Gueco Balibago Elementary School, and right now we do have EPSA Resettlement Elementary School naman po. Okay, kaway-kaway po kung naririnig niyo po kami, magparamdam po kayo kung andyan po kayo, no? Next po natin, habang naka-flash po ang ating EPSA Resettlement Elementary School, nandyan din po ang Santa Teresita Elementary School. Yan. Mag-turn on po kayo ng camera para makita po namin kayo, mga ma'am and sir, and kaway po kayo. Pwede rin po kayo mag-greet sa ating comment section. Just include your name of school, no? Yan, EPSA Resettlement Elementary School. I'm sorry, kanina po yun. Ngayon ay Santa Teresita Elementary School. Yan, good morning po, good morning. Yan, maraming salamat po. Ano po ba ang next school natin kung andyan po sila? Alright, no? So babatiin din po natin ang hindi pa natin po na flash. We do have the Dr. Clemente N. Deirit Elementary School. We have Marisol Bliss Elementary School, Pulong Kakutod Elementary School, Salapungan Elementary School, Sitio Pader Elementary School. We also have Santa Maria Elementary School. We have Chodoro P. Tino Elementary School, Virgen de los Remedios Elementary School. And then we also have Abelardo G. Tino Elementary School, Angeles Elementary School, Belen Homesite Elementary School, Kutud Elementary School, and then Don Ambrosio Menjola Elementary School. We have Enrica Sandico Elementary School. We also have Jose P. Dizon Elementary School, Mining Elementary School, Pineda Gutierrez Elementary School, Pulong Bulo Elementary School, San Ignacio Elementary School, and Sapa Libutad Elementary School. And then sa ibang district naman po, we also have Apong Gidang Nepomuceno Elementary School, Kutkut Elementary School. We have Don Pepe Henson Memorial School po ba ito o Elementary School? Yan. And then Leoncio Village Elementary School, Lourdes Northwest Elementary School. Then M. Nepomuceno Elementary School, and of course my alma mater, Santo Rosario Elementary School. And we also have Air Force City Elementary School, Alberto G. Pabalan Elementary School, Quayan Elementary School, and we also have Anunas Elementary School o yung tinatawag po nating Edilberto M. Ganson Elementary School. And then we also have ang aming pong kapitbahay, Pampang Elementary School, then Sapang Bato Elementary School, Sitio Target Integrated School, then Santa Teresita Elementary School, and we also have Tacondo Elementary School. Punta po tayo ng high school. We have the Integrated School, Amsik Integrated School, nandito po ang ating mga kasama. Greet lang po kayo sa ating comment section. And then we also have my alma mater, Angeles City National High School. Ayan. And then Angeles City National Trade School, Angeles City Science High School. Then we also have the standalone pero hindi nag-iisa, Angeles City Senior High School. And then Bonifacio V. Romero High School. Then Claro M. Recto ICT High School. We also have Dr. Clemente N. Deirit Senior High School po siya. Hindi po siya senior high school pero senior po ang pangalan ni Dr. Clemente. And then we also have Francisco G. Nepomuceno Memorial High School. Governor Rafael Lasatin Integrated School. Malabañas Integrated School. Northville Integrated School. Then we also have Rafael L. Lasatin Memorial High School. Sapang Bato High School, and also the Santo Domingo Integrated School. Good morning po. Meron din po tayong kasama from the CID. Binabati ko po ang ating mga public schools district supervisors, ang ating pong mga education program supervisors, gayon din po ang nasa SGOD po, nandyan po ang mga unit heads po, ang ating mga senior education program specialists at ang ating pong mga EPS. Yan, good morning po sa inyong lahat. And sana po ay makabati po kayong lahat at iparamdam po ninyo na tayo po ay magkapiling ngayong umaga at binabati ko po ang lahat po ng kababaihan ng Happy Women's Month. No? Gagamitin ko po yung tagline na Abante, babae Abante. Yan. Good morning po, no? Marami po tayong mga leaders sa DepEd na puro po babae at nakikita po natin ang kanilang valuable contribution po sa ating pong education sector. Binabati din po natin ng lahat, no? Kumbaga reminder din po, tayo po ay nagse-celebrate din po ng Fire Prevention Month. Ang joke nga po ni Sir Noel ay walang masesesante ngayon, no? Kasi fire prevention, pero ang sunog po ay isa pong devastating na sakuna or hazard po na pwede nating ma-experience. So mag-observe po tayo ng ating mga protocol, no, sa pag-prevent po ng sunog. Ayan. Good morning po sa inyong lahat. At bago po natin simulan ng ating pong session for this morning, gusto ko pong tawagin para sa ating pong Management of Learning ang Principal 4 po ng Francisco G. Nepomuceno Memorial High School, the School of Choice, no? Sir Hermes Vargas. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sir Adrian. Good morning to our fellow educators in the division of Angeles City. Well, it's really a blessed morning because I was just asked by Ma'am Viner to give my takeaway on the first session that we had last time with Sir Francis Jim Toscano. No, he talked about why innovation matters in school. So I really learned a lot from the discussion and the inputs. On the first session, ang dami kong tutunan na he really talked about the VUCAD world. No, he also talked about the stages of innovation process in the school. No, ang dami yung diniscuss na gano'n. At the same time, he also talked a very important concept of design thinking. No, where it matters. Of course, he also discussed partially about the VUCA world, no? So lahat ng nakakatulong talaga. And I really learned a lot, especially that innovation should be a name game in the school level, no? And ang dami kong take away doon, lalo doon sa part na kailangan talaga yung ako doon sa isang part, no, I really took it seriously na yung innovation talaga should really answer what the school needs. It must really be based on what the school needs and what the people in the school need, no? Not just because you want it, and you should be really thinking out of the box. No, I'm already taking it on the application level. So, even on the materials that he provided us as were really helpful for the schools in the division of Angeles City. And I know, looking forward on the session 2, no, and session 3 of day 2 would really give us a lot when now we would talk about the essential of data gathering in impact measurement, at the same time idea and prototyping, the program project intervention, very similar with what the direction of our SDO Angeles City is going through. So I believe my fellow educators in Angeles City have also learned so much from the inputs of Sir Toscano. So we are looking forward. But design thinking was really a very important concept that I relearned last time, kasi we've talked about this in the previous, but his discussion on design thinking was really a blast, no? Mas lalo tinabuksan ng kaisipan tungkol doon. So looking forward with more learning, especially the discussion part also, no? He also entered in a lot of questions from the previous session. So teachers were able to voice up and to share their ideas, and I think that's a very good step towards that. So looking forward to more meaningful and fruitful days, session 2 and session 3. With that, thank you so much, Sir Adrian.
All right, thank you so much, no, Sir Hermes Vargas, Principal 4 of FG Nepomuceno Memorial High School. Siya po ang principal ng The School of Choice. Ayan. Ang ating pong kasama po sa DepEd. Binabati po namin lahat din po ng members ng DIC, ang Division Innovation Committee. Ganun din po ang ating TWG na nakaantabay po sa atin para ihatid sa inyo ang mga nagbabagang lessons po later about innovation. Parang balita po yung sinasabi ko. Ngayon po, for the second day, kasi last time we have talked about 3 sessions, if I'm not mistaken, no, with the topics why innovation in school matters. So basically, we were given, no, a basic knowledge on the significance of having innovation in our school, and of course, we were also taught on how we could conduct innovation in our school by using the design thinking. Kung naalala pa po ninyo, doon nga po nabanggit yung mga proseso na may empathy, kung di po ako nagkakamali, hanggang pong sa mga skills na sinabi niya, dapat po ang innovation ay mayroong scalability at saka po mayroong pong impact, no? Ganon din po, no? Gusto ko pong banggitin na last time, pinaalala po sa atin that we should fall in love with the problem, no? Dapat focus po tayo doon sa problem, hindi po sa solution. At wag pong mauna, of course, ang acrostics o acronyms rather, no? Kailangan isipin po natin kung ano yung, or i-explore po natin kung ano po yung problema para tayo po ay makapag-innovate po ng mas maayos at relevant po ang ating innovation, no? If possible, can we flash, Sir Noel, po ang ating pong matrix para makita po ang ating gagawin for the second day. Ayan, kung makikita po ninyo, we are now doing the preliminaries, no? And then we will be having the topics po delivered by Sir Francis Jim Toscano later on, kung saan pag-uusapan po natin ang designing education innovation, which will be followed the accomplishing of the step 1 worksheet, no, yung empathy exercise at saka yung defining the problem. Sa session 2 po, ganun pa rin po tayo, designing education innovation. It will be the process of ideating and prototyping the program, project, or intervention. And then later on po, after that, sa afternoon po, no, sa 11:30, bandang 11:30 po, meron pa rin po tayong worksheet na dapat i-accomplish, but at around 1:15, no, we will be doing the continuation. And then parang heavy workshop po ang gagawin natin ngayon. So dapat po ay i-ready po natin ang ating mga sarili at the purpose of having the breakout rooms po, yung mga MS Teams, para immediately makapag-interact po ang mga teachers within the school on how they could go about po dun sa mga worksheets po na nakalatag po natin. Yan. So meron din po tayo later on, mga bandang hapon, the essential role of data gathering and impact measurement in innovation. After which, we will be having the forum. Doon sa bandang last part po, the big group sharing, open forum, and closure. Yan. Meron din po tayong kasama na naka-live po sa ating stream. Pakibanggit po. Andyan po ba ang... Ayan, Rafael L. Lasatin Memorial High School. Paki-open lang po ang camera para makita po namin kayo. Alam po namin madidelay ang audio pero once nakarating po ito sa inyo, kaway lang po kayo. Pakikaway po. Good morning po sa inyong lahat, no? Yan. Of course, we would also want to remind po, no? Remind po yung ating assignment. The importance of the assignment is ito po ay para bang priming activity na magbibigay po sa atin ng idea or mas magiging convenient po sa atin yung paggawa po ng ating mga worksheets for today. No? So, I'm not pretty much sure pero alam ko po meron po tayong link where we will be collecting po yung ating mga worksheets. No? Bigyan nyo lang po ako ng feed, Sir Noel. Yan. So, ayan po, dumami na po ang ating mga kasama sa RL. Ang alam ko po ang school head ng RL ay si Ma'am Jennifer Y. Santos. Good morning po, ma'am, kung andyan po kayo. Ayan. Alright, thank you so much po, Rafael L. Lazatin Memorial High School. Okay, so bali meron po tayong 3 synchronous sessions today. Then meron din po tayo asynchronous, no, later on as we accomplish po yung ating mga worksheet. So antabay lang po tayo mga kasama sa ating pong resource speaker. So meron po ba tayong announcement? Yan, titingin lang po ako sa aking private chat. Baka po merong nagsasabi po ng announcement dito. Ayan, we are inviting of course once again po ang ating mga teachers na gamitin po ang opportunity ito na samantalang meron po tayong ganitong session. You can ask questions po doon sa ating comment section if you do have some clarification regarding po sa ating pong innovation. So this is a good start for us and ensure that we are on the right direction as we conceptualize po ang ating innovation, no? All right. We also have Aksay. Dito po sa ipakita po natin, nakalagin po ang ating Aksay. Nabanggit po ni Sir Avenir. Ayan, open cam po tayo mga kapatid sa Angeles City Science High School. Good morning po, good morning. Parang naka-zoom po yata yung video nila o yung browser. Yan. Yan, good morning po, the School of Champions. Hindi na po Ariel Rivera ang sasabihin ko. Ito po ay Ariel T. Perez, ang school head po ng Angeles City Science High School. Nandyan din po si Ma'am Lot, ang kanyang pong assistant school principal. Good morning po, mga Aksay teachers po. Yan. Kaway naman po kung naririnig niyo na po kami. Okay, antabay lang po tayo, no? Sabihin niyo lang po kung andyan na po ang ating resource speaker. Ayun, kumaway na po sila. Ibig sabihin nakarating na po sa kanila yung ating greetings. Meron din po tayong mga kasama na nag-greet sa comment section from various school. Good morning po sa inyong lahat. Again, happy Women's Month po sa lahat po ng ating pong mga kapatid na kababaihan po sa DepEd, no? Ang ating pong SDS, ASDS, marami po tayong school leaders, no? Mga admin po na babae po, and we could see the contribution, the great contribution that they are providing po sa education sector. So, abante babae, yan nga po ang sinasabi po na nababasa ko po sa Facebook. All right. Okay na po ba, Sir Noel? Andiyan na po ba? Opo. Isang reminder din daw po, don't forget po, lalo na po sa ating pong technical team, don't forget to check the attendance daw po, kasama po sa ating pong documentation ang attendance ng per school. Ang kagandahan po sa MS Teams, download lang pong attendance kahit hindi mo na isa-isahin, no? Naka-register po agad ang pangalan, pati po yung duration po ng stay nila sa MS Teams. So, wala pong kahirap-hirap ang checking of attendance. Yan. Sige po. Sige po, habang siguro inaantabayan po natin ang ating resource speaker, pwede po tayong mag-greetings, mag-shoutout po sa ating comment section. Ayan, from Sir Darius Gutierrez Miranda, magandang buhay po, watching from Greeley's. Good morning po, sir. Yan. We are live stream po sa ating pong mga official pages po, ang DepEd Tayo Angeles City. Nandiyan din po ang LRMDS, gayon din po ang DepEd Angeles City YouTube channel. Good morning, Ma'am Rosie Manansala from Quayan Elementary School. Good morning po, good morning. We also have Ma'am Michelle Lopez Chotwico from Northville 15 Integrated School. Good morning po, ma'am. Good morning po. Yung iba po nakalagay Facebook user but they are from Angeles City National High School. Hindi ko po alam kung sino po yung ano po yung pangalan po nung nag-greet, no? Ayan, from Amsik Integrated School, we also have one. And Ma'am Kim Wahe, good morning po from Pulong Bulo Elementary School. Good morning po, ma'am. Yan. Ang ating pong school head ng Malabanyas Integrated School, Ma'am Carol Kamaya po. Good morning po, ma'am. Good morning. We also have Ma'am Maria Ronila Balangkit from Santa Maria Elementary School. Good morning po. Good morning po, ma'am. Ma'am Mia Soriano, amazing morning. Yan, from Claro M. Recto ICT High School. Good morning po. ICT, ang ating pong school head ng Northville 15 Integrated School. Magandang buhay po. Mabuting tao po, Ma'am Marjorie David Lacson. Ayan, good morning po. Si Ma'am Daisy Garcia, good morning po from FG Nepomuceno Memorial High School. Good morning po, ma'am. Si Sir Feds or Sua Morales, good morning po. Yan, di ko po alam kung anong school. Andyan din po si Sir Arvin Rivera. Good morning po. Mapagpalang umaga po mula sa Santo Domingo Integrated School. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yan ang ating pong EdTech Specialist, Dr. Maria Remalin Cruz. Maya Payabak po. Good morning po from Northville 15 Integrated School. Ang ating pong OIC CID Chief, good morning po, Dr. Amando C. Yutok. Yan, happy morning daw po. Smiles bright, serves right. Okay, good morning po. Okay, flash din po natin ang ating mga kasama. Of course, hindi magpapahuli ang ating Dabber Cads from Angeles City National High School, Senior High School. Ipa-flash po natin. Nandyan po ba sila? Ayun. Good morning po. Paki-turn on po ang camera at kaway po kayo pagka nakarating na po sa inyo ang greetings na ito. Hindi pa po sila nagre-react. Malamang hindi pa po nila naririnig. Mag-turn on po kayo ng mga camera. Ayan, ang ating pong Angeles City National High School, Senior High School. Ang school head po niyan ay si Ma'am Amelita L. Pineda, ang ating pong bagong Public Schools District Supervisor. Andyan din po, of course, ang kanyang partner, ang Assistant School Principal po ng Senior High School, si Ma'am Leonora Z. Agustin. Good morning po, ma'am. Turn on po ng camera mga kasama at kaway-kaway po, galaw-galaw. At nang wag pumanaw. Ayan, good morning po. So yung iba naka-on-site, yung iba naman nasa bahay. So today is Wednesday. So grade 11 po ang ating mga kasama sa school for today. Ayan, good morning. Good morning po, good morning. Yan, greetings din po from Ma'am Annabel Miranda. Yan, from Santo Rosario Elementary School. Magandang buhay po. Good morning po, ma'am. Yan. Sige po. Yung iba po, hindi po namin malaman kung ano yung pangalan dahil usually po sa StreamYard, if you did not allow po yung Facebook, no, o yung StreamYard to access your Facebook account, hindi po lilitaw yung pangalan po ninyo. And right now, we have from Pulong Kakutod Elementary School. Good morning po from Ma'am Annalyn H. Paz. Yan. Good morning. Oh, ang dami po palang teachers sa sa Angeles City. Hindi po lahat familiar. Familiar po ako sa name. I think we also have a greeting from from Sapang Bato National High School. Yan, si Sir Kenneth Sampang Bautista. Sir Elmer Hiva, good morning. Watching from Don Ambrosio Mendiola Integrated School. Wow, good morning po. From Sir Reg Bonifacio, good morning. Magandang buhay and happy Women's Month po from Angeles City National Trade School Senior High School. Ayan, good morning po. Yan, from Genesis Gomez, good morning po. Watching from Apong Gidang Nepomuceno Elementary School. Yan, for sure kasama niya po ang mga teachers po sa school. Yan. Good morning from Ma'am Victonet Nuna. Good morning po from Leoncia Village Elementary School. Yan. Okay. Wala pa po bang ating speaker? Check ko lang po. Baka tinatawag na po ako ng pansin. Okay, check lang po ako dito. Ayun, wala pa. Okay po. Sige po, sige po. Send your greetings po para para ma-shout out po ang inyong school. At I think meron po tayong school na papasok to feed po sa ating live stream. Sige po, pasok na po natin yan. I think it's from Claro M. Recto ICD High School. Andiyan na po ba sa screen po natin? On hold. Sige. Kinokontak pa po siguro. Ayan. Sige, habang hinihintay po natin ang ICT. Another greeting po from Ma'am Ann Maglaki. Good morning. Good morning from EPSA Resettlement Elementary School. Happy morning to everyone and happy Women's Month. Yan po ang ating pong Assistant School Principal ng BV Romero High School, Senior High School, Ma'am Nerissa N. Valdez. Good morning po, ma'am. Alright. We have a Facebook user po. Siguro po habang nag-greet po tayo, no? Tanong po tayo ng ilang questions, no? Ilang questions and then ibigay po ninyo ang inyong answer sa ating pong comment section, no? Umpisahan po natin sa pinakamadali. Tanong po natin ano ang ibig sabihin po ng VUCA. Paki-type lang po ang inyong answer. Ano po ang ibig sabihin ng VUCA? Opo, may delay lang yan sigurado po sa ating feed. Yan. Ano po ang ibig sabihin ng VUCA? May pa-quiz po tayo. Pag-review, recap. Mukhang okay na po ang ICT. Pwede po nating i-flash. Habang hinihintay natin ang sagot. Ayan, good morning. Claro M. Recto ICD High School. Good morning po. Ang ating pong concurrent na school head din po sa ICT ay si Sir Ariel Perez. Yan. Good morning po, good morning. Uy, may sumasagot na po. What is VUCA? Si Madam J, sabi po ni Madam J, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. Alright, we also have other answers po from Sir Reg. Volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Alright. Ang dami na po. From Ma'am Nerissa and Valdez, tama. Volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And we are living in a VUCA world. Yan. After po ng VUCA, tanong naman po natin, no, ano po ang sagot po ninyo sa question na ito? What is innovation? Wow. Very general question. Sagot po kayo, no? What is innovation? No? What makes an innovation? An innovation. Parang ganun po ang ating hinahanap na sagot. Paano po natin masasabi na ang isang bagay ay innovation? Sige nga po, try po natin. Sagot po, ilagay nyo lang po sa comment section. May pa-quiz. I'm used. Sige po, ilagay nyo po sa comment section, what is innovation? Yan, meron pa po tayong nakikita na sagot sa VUCA. We have an answer here from Sir Eric Cabrera, Sir Erickson. Practical implementation of an improved process, din ang sagot niya. Ito naman pong next. From Ma'am Rachel Henson Bondok, innovation is method. Ito, target po ba ito? TGET. Method that resolve existing problem. Okay, new ideas, may nagsabi. Yan, from Sir Michael Soral. Updating existing processes or creating processes to minimize manual labor. Parang machine na to. What is a machine? Kung napanood niyo po yung pelikula na yun, yung 3 Idiots. From Ma'am Maria Ronila Balangkit, it's an innovation if it introduces something new that is substantial. Okay. Yan. From Ma'am Nariza and Valdez, the action or process of innovating. Sige. So from Sir Mix Edison Bagayan, to introduce change and new ideas. Yan po ang kanyang sagot. From Ma'am Karil Lizette Reyes, innovation in education means solving a real problem in a new or simple way to promote equitable learning. Sir. Any other responses po? Okay, habang naghihintay po tayo ng sagot, pasok po natin ang Sapang Bato National High School sa feed po natin. Sige po. Hello po, Sapang Bato National High School. Good morning. Ang kanilang pong school head, kung di po ako nagkakamali, ay si Ma'am Kasarina David. Good morning po. Paki-turn on po ang camera at kaway po kayo kapag nakarating na po sa inyo ang greeting na ito. Ayun, tumaway na po sila. Nandyan din po ang kanilang assistant school principal ng senior high school, si Sir Abdon. Sir Abdon, good morning po. Good morning. Abdon Aguilar, kung di po ako nagkakamali. Pa-turn on po ng camera para makita po kayo lahat. Meron po ako nakikitang naka-turn off. No? Ayan, habang hinihintay natin mag-turn on ng camera ang Sapang Bato National High School, ang next question po natin or kanina po, tanong po natin what is innovation. So, we can consider an innovation if there is an extent of newness and then it hasn't been done before, hindi pa siya nagawa, and then it's a new idea in the school. Yeah. And then also ang next question po natin, no? What are the 4 dimensions of innovation in education? as cited by the speaker ba? Very specific. So kailangan ma-recall natin ano bang sabi ng speaker, yung 4 dimensions of innovation. Sige po, ilagay niyo lang po ang inyong mga sagot no sa ating pong comment section. Ang tanong po ay, what are the 4 dimensions of innovation in education as cited by the speaker? Ito po ay nabanggit ng speaker po natin last time. 4 po ito. Actually, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, hindi po ito 4. Yan. Pero tignan po natin. Sabi po ni Ma'am Dines, meron daw pong prize yung makakasagot. Yung mauunang makakasagot. May prize po ba? Ayun, meron daw po. Sige po. Okay, habang inihintay po natin ang mga sagot sa comment section, batiin na po natin ang ating resource speaker. Nandito na po siya. Hintay lang po natin siyang makahinga. Good morning po, Sir Jim, no? Bigyan niyo lang po kami ng cue kung okay na po kayo. Okay. Okay po. So what are the 4 dimensions of innovation as cited by the speaker? Parang hindi ko pa po nababasa dito. Ayan. Extend on newness ever done before. Okay. Wow. Okay. Extend by newness ever done before. Who initiates it is the school new. Sabi po ni Ma'am Rachel Henson Bondok. Ganun din po yung sagot kanina ni Sir Erickson Cabrera. No? Sige po. Ang tinatanong po natin ay ang 4 dimensions. The 4 dimensions of innovation in education are the following: knowledge, skill, character, metacognition. Yan po ang sagot ni Sir Sunday Santiago Reyes. Ang tamang sagot po dun sa previous question po natin na dimensions of innovation ay ang extent of newness ever done before is the school new and who initiates the innovation. Next question po natin, what are the stages of innovation in education naman? So what are the stages of innovation in education? Ma'am Dines, ano daw po ang price? May nagbibigay sa akin. Ayan. Ayan, tama si na Sir Erickson. Of course. Ayan, meron na po bang sumagot doon sa stages of innovation? Hindi ko po mabasa lahat eh. Pero meron po ko ditong nababasa from a Facebook user. O yun, Sir Erickson Cabrera. Development, implementation, growth, and scaling. Ito po yung stages of innovation na sagot niya. Actually, meron pa po tayong mga sagot na ayan, from Ma'am Mia Soriano naman po. I think this is yung question po, yung 4 dimensions. Ayan, tama po yung sagot po ninyo, ma'am. Meron po from a Facebook user, hindi ko po alam ang pangalan. Ang sagot niya po doon sa the stages of innovation in education. We have Ah, ano ba ito? Emphasize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. I think sa ano po ito? Sa design thinking, kung di po ako nagkakamali. Pero ang stages po, isa po nakita ko, ayun, from Ma'am Daisy Garcia, 4 Dimensions of Innovations. Yan. Tama po yan, yung kanina po. Sa dimensions po. Sa stages po, we have development, implementation, and growth and scaling. From a Facebook user po. Di ko alam kung sino po ito. From Ma'am Cristel Joy Liscano, development, implementation, and growth and scaling. Okay. From Ma'am Mia Soriano, from Marshane Mojica. So it's development, implementation, and growth and scaling. Wow, nag-take down notes po ang ating mga teachers. Yan. From Maria Lourdes Sarmiento, stages of innovation are development, implementation, and growth and scaling. From Ma'am Evelyn Flores, development, implementation, growth, and scaling. From Ma'am Gigi Yosuiko Sikat, development, implementation, growth, and scaling. Wow. Very good po. Very good. Alright po. Thank you so much po for your participation. Maraming salamat po, and we are pretty much sure that you were listening in our day 1. So in our day 2, of course, exciting po ulit ang mangyayari pong webinar po natin. Then dito na po actually ang ating resource speaker para po sa kanyang second day, no, of sharing po regarding innovation. Ready na po kaya siya? Bigyan niyo lang po ako ng cue. Sir, pasok lang po. Good morning. Good morning. Kumakain ka po, sir?
Sorry.
It's okay, sir. We are family. Oo nga. Natawa tuloy ako. Good morning po, Sir Francis. Sir, kasalanan ni Sir Noel yan.
Good morning, everyone. Apologies for that. Nilulunok ko lang po yung pandesal ko.
It's okay. It's okay po.
Sorry for coming in late. And thank you for having that review. Sorry, just to be honest, I was in a meeting. Kasi first Holy Communion week namin this week. So hinahabol namin yung 9 sections. For the first time nagkikita-kita yung mga bata kahit kami with their parents. So very difficult, stressful, but we're happy kasi nag-communion na sila. Ayun, Catholic school kasi kami. So yun. Naka-leave ako ngayon dapat kasi break namin, pero pag tinawag ka, walang leave.
Oo nga po.
Ayan. Anyway, so thank you everyone for our day 2. Okay na ba? Can I start na po ba?
Yes po, go ahead po.
Yeah.
You have the floor na po, sir.
Thank you. Let me just share my screen, ha? Ayan. Sir Noel? Ayan. Okay. For our day 2, di ba sabi, yung day 1 was very, how do you call it? Very challenging in terms of ideas because we needed to learn new things. But right now in day 2, just like what I've said, a lot of this will be application. So we need to apply what we have learned so that we will now be able to design. So designing tayo ng innovation. So if I just may share, we are now on day 2, designing education innovation. So this is just a rundown. So we will have AM and PM, but don't worry, for our PM, there will be some asynchronous activities for you. So wag nyo, don't think about it na mahabang day ito. Actually, it's just 9 to 12 and then 12 to 3. Why? Because you will have more time to work on your activities. So there are 2 big parts. For AM and PM, let's do the design thinking. We will now start creating your education initiatives and projects. And then for the afternoon is dedicated about for data gathering. So again, remember when I told you, when we talk about innovation, novelty of design, impact, and sustainability, we need to find a way on how we could measure impact. Whether your project is classroom-based, testing student outcomes with with different approaches, or maybe you're in an office finding a way to make For example, attendance checking more efficient, or submission of RPM and submission of other requirements from your schools. How do you make it efficient? What will be your measure of efficiency? So we need to look for ways of measuring impact, and then we'll have a short open forum, and then I will let you go by 3 o'clock so that you can do asynchronous. Yun kasi yung homework ninyo until our next session. There is, I think, a 1 week gap or almost 1 week gap so that you can finalize all the templates that I will be showing you. All right. So there. So intensive po tayo ngayon. Sir Noel, can you show them already the link? If you still have the link, Sir Noel. If you don't have it, I can share it to you. So again, I have already uploaded the materials and even copies of my talk today. For the day two worksheets, day two materials, they have been uploaded in that link. So you can already download them, especially the worksheet, so that you can actually we can actually work together. So if you have time right now, please click that and go and download them. Let me just stop sharing para I can show you also. So if you open that drive, para lang visually you are guided. So let me just share my screen. So ayan, Sir Noel, can you see the Google folder? Can you see? Ayan. So this is the Google folder that that will be where you will be directed to. So there's day two handouts. If you click day two handout, you don't have to download it now, but I have already uploaded copies. So last night I uploaded them. But more importantly, I want you to download this, yung worksheets ninyo. So day 2, session 1, session 2 worksheet, and day 2, session 3, S3, measuring impact through research. So please download this because we will be going through them later on. All right? So there. Let me just stop sharing my screen. Okay. So download from that link. Let me know in the chat box, teachers, naka-download na po ba tayo? Okay. I think we're able to download. Now, let me continue with my session. Okay, let's start with session. This is our discussion lecture number 1. We will now start with phase 1. So we will follow the design thinking steps today, and then we will start with the first one. Thank you for the review later kanina, sir. So phase 1 is empathy and defining the problem. Now, one of your homework is actually to start doing the empathy exercise already, right? So that's your homework. So I hope you were able to do it. Just a short review again. Ayan, you had a short quiz a while ago, and I love it because I will not focus on this anymore. Don't forget about the 4 dimensions of innovation. Again, of an education innovation. It codes novelty of design. So later on, please apply this. Think about it. Does your education initiative solve the problem? Does it consider the context of the learner? There. Impact, how does it improve the situation? How do users benefit from it? And then scalability, how can teachers adopt it in the school or other school communities? Areas for education innovation in a school community, there are 4. So I hope that we are able to look into these things. You are coming from different job descriptions. Some of you are school leaders, some of you are supervisors, some of you do monitoring, some of you are classroom teachers, some of you are classroom teachers with some leadership responsibilities. So I hope that we are able to have different innovations on student learning, capacity building, environment, and leadership and culture. Right. So let's start with phase 1, the empathize and define stages of design thinking. Again, remember in during our session last month, I told you about looking for the right problem, about falling in love with the problem. It is important to look for the right problem so that our effort for creating education initiative and projects are not put into waste. This is a book. You can look for this one. It's Innovation by Design. It's by Thomas Lockwood. He said that sorry, successful problem solving requires finding the right solution to the right problem. We fail more often because we solve the wrong problem than because we get the wrong solution to the right problem. So a lot of the things that we always do is that we already start thinking about the solution without really understanding or without really investigating or digging deeper much about the problem that we're solving. Most of the time, we already settle on a problem. Sasabihin natin, ito na yung problema natin. Ito na lang i-solve natin. Tapos solve ka ng solution, plano ka. Later on, you'll find out that, hindi ata ito problema ng mga students ko. Akala ko ito lang yung problema ng mga students ko. Pero hindi pala ito. Bakit kaya? So, it's possible that you are not able to identify the right problem because you didn't do research. Parang sa who are the math teachers here? Sa word problem, sa mga math teachers, minsan yung mga bata, alam naman kung paano isosolve. Pero kahit alam nila yung formula, alam nila yung way of solving it, bakit mali pa rin yung solution nila? Baka kasi mali yung problema na identify nila. Parang sa word problems, right? That could be a challenge. It's also the same thing, bakit ang ganda-ganda naman ng cellphone na ito? Ang ganda-ganda naman ng tablet na ito. Ang ganda-ganda naman ng ginawa nila. Pero bakit hindi siya pumatok? Siguro dahil hindi nila naintindihan ang pangangailangan ng mga consumers. Sa business ganon, ibig sabihin fail yung product, right? Fail yung product. So again, like what I've said, fall in love with the problem. Dig deeper, understand the problem. So what do we mean by the right problem? Again, yung innovation by design ni Thomas Lockwood and Edgar Popke. The common trait of design thinking cultures is their aim is to identify and solve the root causes. So hindi lang siya yung superficial problem na nakikita natin. Kailangan nating hukayin, 'di ba? Root cause. Hanapin natin kung saan nanggagaling yung problema. Baka doon tayo dapat magsimula. Kasi kung ang problema, 'di ba parang masakit ng ngipin? Sorry yung example ko, medyo kadiri. Masakit ng ngipin, pero yung kapatid ko kasi, she went to the dentist, nagkwento-kwento siya. Ang sakit-sakit daw. I think a week ago. So kahit papasta ka ng papasta, pa-cleaning ka ng cleaning ng ngipin, kung hindi mo ma-identify yung root cause and nasa pala, kaloob-looban ng ngipin mo ang problema, hindi pa rin maaayos yung ngipin mo. Right? Mayroon pa rin sakit, pabalik-balik pa rin. That's the thing. You did not solve the right problem if problems keep on coming out. 'Di ba? Parang sakit sa ngipin lang 'yan. Akala ko naayos na yung ngipin ko, na-heal na. Yun pala hindi, paulit-ulit pa rin. Bakit kaya? Kasi hindi natin nahanap yung root cause ng problem. So, ang mga innovators, they are not tempted by the short-term success of low-hanging fruit. Minsan, tayong mga innovators, ganito na lang gawin natin. Hanapin mo nila yung pinakamadaling problema, low-hanging fruit, yung kaya mong pitasin. Walang problema, hindi ka nagagamit ng stick o hindi ka naakyat. Yung bunga ng mangga na nakalaylay lang diyan. Yan na yung kunin mo, pitasin mo. Right? Low-hanging fruit 'yon. Innovators do not just settle on low-hanging fruit. The organizations in our study group are not driven to just creating new ideas. Rather, there is a need for better ideas and finding the right innovation. So the right problem, ang isang common trait ng right problem, how do you identify? It's when you dig deeper and identify the root cause. Root cause. At ang problem na sinusolve nyo, hindi lang siya short term, parang pangmadalian lang. Right? So understand, for you to be able to dig deeper and understand the root cause of the problem, you have to dig deeper. And how do we do that? In design thinking, you have learned about empathy map and other techniques. This is actually a qualitative research. Empathy is putting yourself in the shoes, in the position of the person experiencing the problem or your person of interest. Ang empathy is different from sympathy. Sympathy is, oh, kawawa siya. Naaawa ko sa kanya dahil wala siyang bahay, dahil nawalan siya ng trabaho. Hindi ko alam yung experience, pero dahil sympathy lang ang meron ko, maaawa ko sa kanya without really understanding what happened. Right? Parang yung random lang na maawa ka nung may dumaan na taong hindi maganda yung nangyayari sa buhay niya. Kaawa-awa. Naawa ka. Sympathy yun. Empathy is, alam ko, nilalagay ko yung sarili ko sa position niya para maintindihan ko. Ano ba yung problema niya? Siguro maintindihan ko yung problema niya pag tinitingnan ko ang mundo sa gamit ang kanyang sariling mata. Yun, 'di ba? Looking at the world and the problem using his own set of eyes, right? Understanding their feelings. Ano ba ang problema? Ano bang nararamdaman ng mga batang hindi nakakasagot ng printed module kasi wala silang kasama sa bahay? Ilalagay ko yung sarili ko. Paano kung ako yung bata? If I were the boy, right? So that's empathy map. It's a research. You can have different empathy map, things like this, like what you have been doing. We have also a persona technique. I'm just gonna share this to you. Persona technique simply says that if you cannot interview real people, gawa ka ng mga parang characters. Characters na based on real life. So hindi mo kayang interviewin yung tao to, pero kilala mo kung ano siya, anong ginagawa niya, pwede kang mag-persona technique. Parang gumakawa ka ng mga playing cards, trading cards, and you write the information about them. That's called persona technique. Okay? So either you can interview them, you can observe them, parang mga naturalists, observing people, observing creatures in their natural habitat. Yan. The best research you can do is to talk to people. So don't be afraid when you're thinking of creating your education innovation, huwag kayong mahiyang lumapit sa mga tao at interviewin sila, tanungin kung ano yung mga problema nila. Because that's the best way. In business, it's called the market research, market interview. So dapat ganun din tayo. Hindi tayo businessman, but we're creating solutions. So we must be able to interview the people, the persons of interest who are being affected by our problems. All right? That's interview technique. Just a note. How do you conduct interview techniques? There are 3 note-taking types. Number 1, descriptive. You see something, you write it down. You hear, you write it down. Walang judgment. Inferential is you use inference to describe observation. So, merong a little bit of interpretation. Ang Filipino ata, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not so good in Filipino. Inference is paghihinuhunawa or something like that. Sorry, I'm not so good in Filipino. But something like that. You have to interpret. Interpret a little bit. Ang evaluation, yan yung may judgment. Diba? Ang descriptive, nothing. You see, you hear, you write it down. Inferential, there's a little bit of interpretation based on direct observation. Evaluation is you make a judgment already based on what they are doing. Halimbawa, descriptive. Descriptive, he eats meat 3 times a day. He does not eat vegetable. Inferential, ayaw niya ata or inferential. Paano ba yung inferential pag eating meat? Gusto niya, nasasarapan siya. Ayun, nasasarapan siya sa meat. Right? Paghihinuha. Ayan, tama pala. Okay? And then pagdating sa evaluation, ayaw niya ng meat. Okay? Ayaw niya ng meat, gusto niya ng Gusto niya ng meat, ayaw niya ng gulay. So, picky eater siya. O, may judgment na. Picky eater. Maarte siya sa pagkain. Ganon. So, that's what you do pag interview. I always suggest descriptive muna. You can do the inference and evaluation after. So, then, after you've done the first part, so meron ka ng empathy map, right? May empathy map ka, nakagather ka na. Ano nang gagawin mo sa data mo? Analyze mo yung data. Check for patterns. Ano ba yung malabas? Bakit nag-interview ako ng 10 student, grade 1? Yung lumalabas na pattern, wala pala silang kasama sa bahay habang sumasagot ng module. Or, nakita ko yung pattern, may kasama sila sa bahay, pero 5 out of 10 of the parent correspondents nagsabi na hindi sila marunong magbasa. So paano kaya nila tutulungan ang mga anak nilang mag-aral ng print-based module kung hindi marunong magbasa ang mga tatay? So spot unusual ideas. Tong batang to nagpapatulong siya sa kapatid niya na grade 10 para sa module niya. Pero si kapatid naman, ganito, ganyan, ganyan. So spot unusual ideas or data, infer from gathered data, and be in the story and experience of the participants. Try mo, put yourself in the position of those parents who cannot read and write but they are asked to help their kids answer print-based modalities. Ano kayang natin? Karamihan kasi sa mga decisions natin, it's based on our teacher, administrative hat. But most of the decision makers put themselves first in the position of those who will be affected by policies, by the judgment, by the decisions that are being done. Right? So that's the first step. And I believe you were given a homework to do something like an empathy map. Already start thinking about education innovations that you have. Now, the next step is called defining the problem. In defining the problem, in this stage, the innovator defines the specific problem or sets of problems that are intended to be solved. The problem is stated in the format how might. How might. So, for example, how might we help students increase the reading comprehension level, of students, wala there, in social studies? How might we enable feedback of loop for students using printed modules and has no gadgets at home? How might we make the school a bullying-free campus? How might we help illiterate parents to be better learning managers at home? Or pwede rin pag office-based, how might we make attendance checking, for example, faster? How might we distribute certificates more efficiently? How might we make school monitoring, data collection, and submission for PSDS more efficient and more effective? Right? Kasi pala si PSDS pala ang may concern. Ang dami-dami niyang bibisitahin. Pero lahat papeles, paper. Paano na kaya natin gawin siyang i-digitize? Okay? Para maayos pa rin yung records natin at mas bibilis ang pag-submit. Okay? That is called the defining the problem stage. Dito sa empathy map, marami kayong mahihinuha or ma-infer, makikita, marami kayong makikitang problema. Right? Lalabas lahat ang problema. But then when you go to step 2 or stage 2, you now have to define the specific problem with it. Okay? So for example, ang lumabas sa empathy map ay reading comprehension concern. Ano pa ba? No learning manager at home or supervisor or printed modules not being submitted or given feedback. Pagdating dito, you now have to define ano ba talaga yung gusto mong i-solve sa problem nila. Kasi hindi mo pwedeng i-solve lahat. Kasi if you want to solve everything, then you will have a lot of solutions to think of. You now have to focus on the problem. Note, on this part, do not yet think of a solution. Focus on developing the problem first. The solution will come after. You need to make sure that you grow your problem. You manifest the problem first. You bring it out first. You make it clear first. So that when you have defined the problem, then it's easier for you to go to the next page. Right? So there, I will stop for now. We'll go stage by stage. So that is phase 1. Empathy map and defining the problem. Now, I'm gonna stop sharing and then I'll open the open forum muna tayo. Open forum muna tayo and let's see if there are questions from this part. Do we have any questions? Or madali lang sundan? Madali pa sundan ata. Okay. Now, let me share my screen again. Wala pa questions. Okay, here. May I ask you now to download this? I'm gonna give you, Sir Noel, okay lang ba? Let's give our teachers 3 minutes to download this. It's not a big file naman, it's just a Word file. I want you to download this because our next part will be individual activity. Individual activity that you will have to answer with me. Ayan, I'm just gonna make it bigger. There. So teachers, can you please download this? Sir Noel, may timer ba tayo? Mag-timer tayo ng 3 minutes. Baka nagda-download pa yung mga ibang teachers natin. 3 minutes, it's 9:32. I'll give you until 9:35 to download and be ready with this. If you're ready, please put your comments in the comment section wherever you are watching. Just let me know if you have downloaded. Okay, your 3 minutes starts now. Ayan. Let's have 2 minutes left. Baka din na-download pa ng mga teachers natin. If you're done downloading, please open it so that you can go with me. I will guide you through the worksheet. This is one of your output for this workshop. So, para may certificate of completion kayo if ever. Yan. 1 minute. 1 minute. File link, Sir Derek. File link is what you see on the bottom of the screen there. That's bit.ly, tablet at Hangeles. Yan, are you all ready? Okay, I think everyone's ready or is ready with their. Okay, so downloading. Okay, let's go through the document with me. So this is your worksheet that you will have to do. Okay. For the first part, ayan, innovation project title. Again, please, huwag po kayong, last na po ninyong gawin ito, please. Baka maubos na naman yung time natin sa kaka-acronym. Wag muna yung acronym. When you're like under your innovation project title, wag muna tayo mag-acronym ha. Baka 10 years tayo sa kaka-acronym. Okay? The acronym will come after. That's your last requirement from me. Instead, you go to the next part, area of innovation. So, yung iniisip mong problem or whatever, saang area of innovation siya? Student learning, teacher capacity building, leadership and culture environment. Teacher innovator's name, that's you. Grade level and subject of expertise, and your school. Some of you are asking, group work? Hindi po ito group work. Individual work po ito. Okay? Now, I need you to start with this one. Describe the preliminary work. Describe the general problem in your school that you aim to work on. Explain why you consider it as the right problem to be solved. Describe what have been done to address this problem. Very important yun dito ha. Baka kasi may mga solutions na naginawa sa inyo. Kailangan aware din kayo sa mga solutions na ginawa na. Kasi baka uulitin nyo lang at mag-fail din, right? That means okay lang sana mag-fail, pero that means you did not do your research. Dapat meron na kayong prior research on what have been done to address the problem. Okay, were they successful or not? What gaps? What are the missing things that you see in this earlier solutions? Okay, so that's the first part, preliminary work. Parang ito yung rationale ninyo. Okay, can I say something? Let's not pronounce it as rationale. There's no word na rationale. It's actually rational. Okay? Rational. So let's not say it rationale. I always keep on hearing that. Sorry na OC ako. Walang word na rationale. Mag-search kayo ngayon. I'm asking you to search right now. There's no word na rationale. It's actually rational. Okay? Rational. Okay? Yun yung tawag natin ha. That's how we pronounce it. There's no word na rationale. Why am I ok about this? Kasi even teachers are pronouncing it. Our students will copy how we pronounce it. There's no word rationale. It's rational. Okay? Ayan. Sorry, may English lesson tayo ng isa. So this is phase 1, empathize and defining the problem stages. This one is the empathize. This is your empathy map. You have your guide questions there, here. Now, some of you would say, Sir, natapos na namin yung ginawa namin. Okay? If that is the final one, you just copy and paste it here. Kailangan na i-copy and paste ninyo because I want every answers to be in the same document. You will submit this as your output, one of your output for our session, for this workshop. Okay? And then you will now have to define the problem. You will have to write your specific problem here. I already gave you an example here, and make sure that everything else are answered. Okay? So for this part, dito muna tayo. Stage 1 or phase 1. Stage 1, empathize, and stage 2, defining the problem. It's 9:41 on my watch. Very easy lang naman ang first two parts, but I will ask you to spend more time to it. This is what I was saying, that we will have a lot of activities. So, it's 9:41 on my watch. Is it okay if I give you until 10:30 a.m. to complete phase 1, stage 1, and stage 2? 10 o'clock could be your health break. So in short, 9:45 to 10:30. By 10, Sorry po. Okay na po ba silang mag-break pero working break po sana, working break tayo. So habang nagwo-work kayo on your stage 1 and stage 2, you can already have your merienda. Parang ako lang, nandito na sa tabi ko ang kape ko. Ayan. But I will be online. So when you're working, it doesn't mean that Sir Jim is out already of the StreamYard. I will be here so that if you have questions, i-send nyo lang kay na Sir Noel or send lang sa comment section. Lilipat tayo niyan, sir, ng stream. Lilipat ba tayo ng stream, Sir Noel? Saan po tayo pupunta? Ayan. From 9:45 to 10:30, that's individual activity number 1. I want you to work on your stages 1 and 2. You may also have your health break, but may I ask you to do that as a working break? Okay? So this one. Sir Noel, pa-share naman my screen para I can show them. Again, from 9:45 to 10:30 with health break in the middle. You are supposed to finish stage 1 empathize and stage 2 defining the problem. Sir, bakit kailangan tapusin natin? Because you will not be able to proceed to the next stages if you don't do the prerequisite stages. That's why I'm giving you around 45 minutes to work on this. Individual? Yes, individual po. But please do not hesitate to ask me as someone if you have questions. Sir Jim, from one of my teachers. Sir Edison Bagayan. Question, sir. Innovation begins by looking for a problem at home, the school. I understand that there are innovations that made it global recognition. Shall we think global and big as we begin? Oh, no, not really, not really. That's not how it goes, ha? These recognitions, globally recognized innovation, all of them started from school. Immediate context, yung mga pilot nila, yung mga initial planning, initial implementation, school level yan. So look at a problem in your school. Look at a problem in your classroom. Susunod na yung scaling up. Huwag muna nating isipin yung global. Isipin muna natin yung local. 'Di ba? Parang local. Solving local problems muna tayo. Okay? Local problems, which means your community. So doon muna tayo, sa baba muna tayo. Isipin na natin kung paano natin pabobonggahin at magiging global ang impact niya later on. All right. Okay, so brain exercise tayo, application. It's almost 9:45. You may now go to your individual activities until 10:30. For questions, paki-send na lang po dito sa comment section or private chat. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Ayan. Sir Noel?
Yon, there you go, sir.
Ayan.
Brain drain na ba ito, sir, itong stage na to?
Una pa lang to, teachers. So, sana kumain po kayo ng marami.
The first day is brain dump, no? Naalala ko yung mga
Oo.
term yan. Brain dump. Yan ba ay brain drain?
Brain exercise tayo ngayon.
Brain exercise. And I think, sir, we have a question from Ma'am Rachel Henson Bondok. Sir, for clarification lang po doon sa stage 1, yung draw the person is this person involved. Sorry po, nakaliputan ko po sa last instruction niya.
Yung taong affected by the problem, yung person of interest ninyo. Kung bata, edi bata. Pero po, wag tayong parang mga bata, 10 years tayo nagdo-drawing, inuuna natin yung drawing. Huli na po yung drawing. Ilagay nyo lang kung sino yung bata yon. Ganun kasi tayo, 'di ba? Yung mga paarte inuuna natin bago yung substance and laman. So again, wag muna mag-focus sa acronym, last na yan, at wag muna mag-focus sa drawing the person. Isulat nyo lang kung sino yung person doon.
Madalas nauuna kasi yung aesthetics, sir, no? Bago yung essence o yung substance, no?
Wag ganon ha, wag ganon. It's always what's inside. The substance is more important than the aesthetics.
Yeah. Don't judge the book by its cover, no?
Or minsan, the saying, may saying na, kaya minsan pinapaganda ang labas kasi walang laman ang loob.
Yan. Sabi sir, dito na lang daw po tayo sa session 2. So, I think that's better para hindi na
Yeah.
ma-hassle ang pag-transfer ng link. And while we are, sir, waiting, no, I would like to grab this opportunity. Kanina nag-greet ako, sir, dami nag-PPM kasi sa akin, no. So, baka magtampo. So, batiin ko lang pong mabilisan, sir. No, isa po ang kasama po natin sa ating CID po, si Ma'am Amy Berana po, ang Education Program Specialist. At sabi po niya, muse daw din po siya ng CID. Siya po ang EPS or Education, Program Specialist po ng ALS. Yan. Nandiyan din po, bumati po ang dating kasama po natin, ang Assistant School Principal 2 ng Northville 15 Integrated School, si Dr. Glenda Nagit. Batiin ko rin po ang aking classmate sa doctorate, si Ma'am Eileen or Kathleen Sagario po from Pulongbulo Elementary School. Ang aking pong kabatchmate nung high school, si Sir Eros Prinyel from Sapang Bato National High School with his Assistant School Principal po sa Senior High School, Sir Abdon Aguilar. Yan. Yan lang po. So, working break po tayo, sir, no? Actually, we are not yet on the break. We are working, pero kung mag-break po ay still sana working break nga po. We are currently working on the individual activity, no? Brain exercise po, meron po tayo ngayon. Okay. Alright. So, tingin tayo, baka may question po sa ating comment section. Do not hesitate to ask your questions while we are working on it. Available po ang ating resource speaker to guide us, no? So, kung meron po tayong tanong, either you directly post it in our comment section or you may relay your comments or questions to your technical team para ma-post po nila sa ating comment section.
Parang may ano lang po kami, may chat show lang po kami, may kape-kape lang kami dito.
Nainggit ako, sir. Parang gusto ko rin magkape. Meron pa ako dito. Alright, let me just check, sir. Baka may message po tayo from PM. Ayan. Of course, no, nagpapabati din po ang ating pong mga public schools district supervisors po sa ating pong CID. Andyan po Sir Walter Estabilio. Good morning po. Sir Walter Estabilio, pasensya na po, hindi ko po kabisado lahat ng PSDS. Yan. Ang naalala ko lang po, andyan po sina Ma'am. Check ko lang po. Tayin ko lang po yung list. I'm not sure kung nakapasok po ang ating junior high school from Angeles City National High School. I think they are supposed to be flash sa ating pong screen para mabati po natin sila. Wait lang. Ayan. Oo nga, no? Bakit nabablanko. So again, do not hesitate to post your questions po sa ating pong comment section, no? If you are currently working on your activity po and you do have some questions, huwag po kayong mahihiyang magtanong. Ayan, okay po. Oo nga naman po pala. Andito po si Dr. Lenny Quinto. Good morning po. Ang isa po sa ating po mga PSDSS sa CID. Andyan din po si Dr. Nympha. Good morning po, ma'am. Opo. Yan, si Dr. Agnes. Andyan din po. Of course, si Sir Erickson Cabrera. Pinapabati po niya ang kanyang magandang asawa. Sir Erickson. Yan. Andyan din po ang mga PSDSS po natin. Si Ma'am Ana Merla, Madam Ana Merla, si Sir Cesar, Ma'am Maratara, Sir Erickson. Of course po, ang aming pong school head, si Ma'am Amelita Pineda, at ang pong CID Chief po, Dr. Amando C. Yuto. So, hindi ko rin po kabisado. Siyempre, babatiin din po natin ang mga Education Program Supervisors. Of course, mauuna po ang aking EPS, si Ma'am Rita Bundalian. At yan, naka-flash po si Ma'am Jemima Estrabillo, ang EPS po ng Science. Yan. Good morning po, good morning. Andyan din po si Dr. Malang. Yan, isa po ang EPS po ng Math. Andyan po si Ma'am Rochella David po, ang EPS ng Filipino. Pinagpalang umaga. Yan. Ayan, si Ma'am Agnes po. Good morning po, Ma'am. Si Sir Ramil Dakanay po, ang EPS din po ng Social Studies o Araling Panlipunan. Yan, pasensya na po, hindi ko po lahat kabisado. Ang EPS po ng ESP, si Sir Nunag. Yan. Good morning po, Sir Nunag. Akala ko question for the resource speaker kasi sir may nag-PPM sa akin ng question pero it's a question pala sa school. Let me just check po. Baka merong ano. Sir, tama po ba when we talk about of area of innovation is yung curriculum, no? Ganun po, no? Sa
yung student learning. Oh, pwede if you have your own areas then how you term it okay lang. Basta
I think
clear
sir,
lang. Yeah.
sa parallelism po, in research we have the research agenda. So correct me if I'm wrong, no? So we can probably reflect on the research agenda na dinidiscuss po sa atin. Kasi doon po naka-align din yung mga area of innovation na binabanggit ni sir. Kasi meron po sa teaching and learning, yan, sa governance, yan.
Yeah, you can use your own areas sa like for example in DepEd.
Opo, maganda we reflect on the research agenda na para siya kasi parehas lang naman po siya sir no. Yan, sa child protection, human resource, yan. Kasi iba-iba nga po tayo ng scope of support pagdating sa position. So we might as well consider that para yung pong useful doon sa job description po natin. Ang gagawin po nating innovation. Ayan, so meron po tayong teams na ipa-flash, no? Sir Noel, bigyan niyo lang po ako ng cue kung andyan na. Is this Angeles City National Trade School, sir? Yung andyan na. Is this Angeles City National Trade School, sir? Ayan. Kung makakarating po sa inyo ang aming pagbati, paki-turn on na lang po ang camera. Is this Angeles City National Trade School, sir? Ayan. Paki-turn on po ang camera para makita po namin kayo. Ang school head po ng Angeles City National Trade School, andyan po si Dr. Elmer Dayrit. Yan. At ang kanyang assistant principal po, si Ma'am Teng. Good morning po. Si Ma'am Eliazar Calma. Tama po ba? Yan. Oo po. Also known as Ma'am Teng. Okay po. Pa-turn on po ng camera para ma-flash po namin kayo ulit. Mga ma'am and sir from Angeles City National Trade School. No, I think we also have Salapungan Elementary School, Sir Noel. Tama po ba? Paki-turn on na lang po ang camera. And I'm not sure, I think meron din pong Angeles City National High School, Junior High School. Kung bigyan nyo lang po ako ng cue para maano po natin. Yan. Sir, meron po kasi sir, yung ibang mga kasama pong teacher, they do have what we call the ancillary. Yung pong halimbawa kay teacher siya, may hawak po siya ng isang project or special designation gaya po ng LIS, ganyan. So I think they could also do innovation in those area. Yon.
Parang yung area of area of responsibility. Yung area of responsibilities ninyo, you can actually focus on those. Okay lang mag-focus on area, wag lang mag-focus on solution. Because I know that there are already, like for example, DepEd is already asking you to use this and use that.
Yeah,
ang temptation is ipasok mo na yon. Medyo sana, it defeats the purpose of starting with the problem. Okay lang naman yon, pero sana let's not dwell on it. 'Di ba sabi ko nga, don't fall in love with the solution. 'Di ba? Fall in love with the problem first.
Oo nga. Kasi importante po yung problem dahil marami naman pong possible solution na sir. Yung problem talaga, we really need to have a better understanding a complete understanding of the problem para appropriate ang solution. So if we are very hasty with the solution, para bang inaano po natin, baka hindi na po natin makuha or ma-resolve talaga yung totoong problem. Yan. Check lang po tayo, baka may questions po tayo. Yan. Sige, habang naghihintay po tayo ng questions, batiin ko rin po, of course pala, naalala ko nga po, ang EPS po ng LRMDS. Good morning po, Ma'am Emily Sarmiento. Good morning po, kamusta po? Yan. Yan, pasensya na po kayo. Hindi ko po lahat kabisado, no?
Dapat may checklist ka na, sir.
Oo nga. Kami, sir, gusto magpa-shoutout. Shoutout. Ayan. Ayan. This is school. Ano pong school to, sir? This is?
Mukhang seryoso sila.
Oo nga. Angeles City National Trade School. Ayan. Ayan na po
National
sila.
Trade School. So this is a
trade
ano
school.
Ano yung expertise nila? Is this a senior high school po?
Both po, sir. Senior and
Okay.
junior meron po sila. Yan. Sila po ang sa TechVoc. Focus po sa TechVoc.
Oh, wow.
Hello po, Ma'am Teng. Si Ma'am Eliazar po ang assistant school principal po ng senior high school ng trade. At andyan din po, if I'm not sure, andyan din po ang school head ng trade school po si Sir Elmer Dayrit. Yan. Good morning po. Kaway po kayo kung ito po ay nakakarating na sa inyo. No? Mula po sa aming himpilan. Kung nakakarating na po ang aming pagbati, kaway-kaway po kayo dyan at huwag pumanaw. Para huwag di po kayo pumanaw. Ayan,
Mga
okay
15 to 20 minutes delay pag live stream eh. So,
Opo. Yan.
ayan, ngayon lang sila nag-response.
Ibig sabihin nakarating na po sa kanila. Yan. Good morning. Yung iba pong mga faces familiar. Yan. May lumitaw. Are you still there? And we're still here. We are still here. Tingnan ko lang po. Ayun. Okay na po, Sir Avenir. Ayan, nandiyan na po yata sila eh. Yan. Kanina po ang
There's a
Angeles City
question.
National Trade School. Yes, sir?
There's a question.
Opo.
Ano nga ba yung question? So, our common problem is from Teacher Agnes or Ma'am Agnes. Tulabut Gueco. Good morning po. Our common problem is on reading. We crafted a reading tool which is based on phoneme.
Phoneme and phonics.
Phoneme and phonics. It is a reading tool that is based on sounds. Okay. I need you to be more specific with the concern on reading. Di ba ang daming mga concern on reading? So if it's sound or you need to be more defined with the problem. Is it reading comprehension, word recognition? Yun lang.
Nice. So they should narrow it down.
Narrow it down so that you can give a more targeted approach.
Thank you so much for that, sir. I'm also
Okay.
interested in reading. So that's
Yeah.
nice. Thank you.
This
Ito
is
na
our
po ang
innovation. Sabi niya ng teacher, this is our innovation to give solutions to our struggling teacher and introduce to the division and other schools. Okay. So kung existing innovation na po pala, kung nagawa na, ano ba? Isip na ba tayo ng bago? How to read. Kasi sir, teachers, kung naano na natin na innovation to, parang it doesn't make sense anymore to bring it out again. Kasi nagawa na pala ng innovation eh. So it's already recorded. Tama po ba? I don't know if that makes sense.
Naalala ko, sir, you were talking about last time that you do not immediately claim certain development as innovation right away. Oo nga.
Yeah, unless Teacher Agnes and the rest of the team siguro, kung sino yung kasama niya, is bringing it out because they need to measure impact.
Yes, yung impact
'Di ba?
and
Parang
scalability.
nauna na sila, which is okay with me. It's just that when we say it's already an innovation, so that means it has been recorded, na-submit na, baka it doesn't make sense doing it again
Again,
unless there's a different context to it.
yes. The
Parang
next step.
I don't want to say recycle, but you're already doing something that you have done before, unless it's in another context. That should be okay with me. It's not yet widely used. Okay, so parang baka Teacher Agnes, they're targeting a wider ano ba, implementation.
Wider ano po, number of students na
Pwede rin
nangangailangan
yun.
ng intervention sa reading.
Yeah, okay.
Okay po.
Ano po, ano po ang area of innovation ko if my problem is, si Aquafina ba to? Parents involvement. Hi, Aquafina. Parents involvement in their children's learning. Pag parents involvement, ano to, parental engagement. Ano ba yung gusto mo pong i-focus? The focus is not children's learning here. Unless
Yeah.
yun yung focus mo. So
Uh, un-
student learning pa rin siya. But if it says parental involvement, nasa partnership, relationship siya.
linkages,
Like,
sir. Meron kaming ganun, sir, yung
yan.
linkages.
I don't know
Unless
the
they're
process.
also unless sir they're also talking about the instructional support provided by the parents dahil nasa bahay nga, sir.
If it's instructional support directed to student learning, then should be under student learning.
Yes. If they're talking
Or
about the welfare,
yeah. Or hindi naman pwedeng mutually exclusive sila. Baka
mm,
mutually inclusive. So pwedeng linkages, student learning and linkages. Hindi kailangan isang area lang i-focus ninyo. Lalo na if the solution addresses some concerns that are overlapping,
okay.
'di ba? Or nag-spill over sa different areas. No worries about it.
Okay, sir, while we are waiting for more questions, balik po natin ang Angeles City National High School kung possible po para mabati natin. Kanina, naghihintay po sila. Yan. Okay, sir, while we are waiting for more questions, balik po natin ang Angeles. Ito na po yun, sir. This school is from Angeles City National High School. Good morning po. Kung nakakarating na po ito sa inyo, pag-greet po ang school head po ng Angeles City National High School, ang ating pong newly promoted Public Schools District Supervisor, si Ma'am Amelita L. Pineda. Yan. Good morning po, ma'am. Pakaway po if nakarating na po ang mensaheng ito sa inyo mula sa himpilan at bulwagang inovasyon. Yan. Good morning po. Pa-turn on po ng camera para mas marami po makita natin sa screen. Good morning po. We see teachers from different learning areas from TLE, English, Filipino, yan, MAPE. Good morning po. Nandyan din po ang taga-AP. Yan, kaway-kaway po. Good morning, good morning. Yan po ang teachers natin from junior high school ng Angeles City National High School. Good morning po. Yan. Okay. Tingin po tayo, baka may question pa po. How about, sir, if yung isang iniisip na innovation is a different way of implementing a teaching strategy? Is that possible, sir? Sa teaching learning po yung area.
Sorry, what's that again?
If yung iniisip po na innovation is about the strategy, sir, kung on how it should be delivered in teaching a particular subject. Yan.
Ang study mismo is yung strategy.
Opo.
Sino may problema? Sino may problema doon?
Bali, sir, doon sa, tignan ko lang po, sir. Hirap po silang magturo ng isang subject. So what they do is, para ma-compensate kasi meron kasamang teacher na may alam sa content na hindi naman siya exclusive pero bawat isa, sir, meron silang part ng subject na alam nila. So they combine those to serve as team teaching, ganyan, sir. Kung possible po bang innovation yun, sir?
Team teaching itself, okay lang iyon, but the main focus doon, it's not the students themselves. It's the teachers. So parang feeling ko, pwede ito as someone, if you're a school leader, if you're an instructional leader, like a master teacher, or maybe a PSDS, gusto mo, if you're or in ESP in math, gusto nyo mag-implement ng Singaporean math approach or whatever. Or ano ba, clue pala ha sa mga ESP, EPS.
Opo,
Or
APS.
mga EPS natin, like for example, may nakita kayong magandang innovation from your other school, kayo na mismo ang pwedeng yung project ninyo is to elevate that into a wider implementation. That could be an innovation under EPS. Halimbawa, paggamit ng brain transplant para matutunan ang araling panlipunan, gumana siya sa isang school. As EPS, di ba mga EPS naman, they oversee the implementation of the curriculum under them. Pag nakita niya that's effective, pwedeng yun na. Or pwede kayong magkaroon ng project EPS na, halimbawa, team teaching is okay pala in araling panlipunan, nakakatulong. So yung EPS ng araling panlipunan, pwede na siya mismo mag-initiate. Parang exchange of best practices.
So sa teacher po yun, no? Kasi I'm currently working on that, sir. Doon
Teacher, pwede kasi on the teacher level din.
Mm.
Sila mismo. That's what we call as, in our school, we call that as lesson study.
Yes,
Peer
Elsa.
observation lesson study. We do that. We require our teachers. And that is a valid form of research, by the way.
Yes.
Parang
Yes.
mini action plan. So, depende kung ano yung goal. Kasi depende kung sino yung gumagawa.
Okay.
Diba? Yes. Pero pwede din. That's very good. That's capacity building, by the way.
Yes, sir. Oh, ibig sabihin may direction pala, sir, yung ginagawa ko.
Actually, that's one I want to propose. Let's empower more our teachers
Mm.
to building their own craft. I mean, there are a lot of prescriptive things, but the more that we prescribe things, the more that we kill the agency and creativity of teachers. Parang naging robot na lang sila, finifeed ng program.
Mm.
Diba ang teachers hindi dapat robot yan? Diba dapat may creativity?
Mm. I think that is also one of the purpose, sir, ng actually sa action.
Sabi ni Sir Noel, hindi pa yun lack. No, lack is actually a professional development, training, sharing, community. What I'm saying is, halimbawa, tama ba Sir Adrian? Sir Adrian, di ba? Sir Adrian.
Opo.
Sir Adrian and I were both math teachers. Gagamit kami ng application, like GeoGebra, for example. Yun yung approach namin. Ang gagawin namin, sige Sir Adrian, ikaw muna mag-implement nito, pupuntahan kita, observe kita. Hindi kita observe to evaluate you. Let's evaluate the way we implement it. Tapos
Yes.
let's talk about it, let's improve. Ako naman observe mo. I-implement ko yung ano natin. That's called lesson study.
Mm.
Diba?
It started in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. Yung lesson
Japan,
study.
ako naman ang point of reference ko yung sa medical areas when the doctors bring their interns with them, tapos nag-check sila ng mga ganon, tapos they want to improve. Alam niyo parang sa I don't know, Grey's Anatomy, The Good Doctor, yung nanonood sila at may mga surgery or whatever that's happening. Yeah.
In some Korean dramas, parang ganun nga din ginagawa nila. Yung Doctor Romantic, I see them watching yung surgery kasi it's part of parang lesson study na, sir.
Ayun.
So, okay pala yun.
That's a good one.
Kasi team teaching, sir, yung pinopropose kong solution doon sa delivery ng research subject namin. So, yan, I'm working with the research teachers na sa school namin. So, we did, yung empathy nyo kasi, sir, na sinasabi kanina, ang ginawa ko, ang tawag namin is situational analysis. So, in a way, parehas naman pala. So,
the same
yun.
set of skills.
Ang isang tinanong ko nga doon, sir, is kung ano yung content na mahirap i-deliver. Una, mastery of content, tapos yung delivery. Iba kasi yung subject matter sa pedagogy, yung mismo pag-deliver. So, okay pala yun. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, at least may isa na kami. Ayan, tignan pa natin. Baka may questions. Okay. Most are greetings naman. Sir Noel, may nakapasok po tayong school. Nasa backstage po natin. Yan. From what school po ito, sir? Junior high pa rin po ito, yung kanina. Tama po ba? Okay. Alright. So until 10:15 ng ating pong break time, we do hope that you are working on our activity, no? Tama po sir, no? 10:15 and then we'll proceed again. So we
10,
are
10:30.
at 10:30, I'm sorry. And
O
we
kasi
are
ginagamit lang natin yung health break din nila. So pag tapos na kayo, pwede na kayong mag-chill at mag-health break.
yes.
CR kayo or whatever para may time lang. Pero I'm pretty sure the empathy map might be taking much of their time.
Mm.
So, yeah.
And we have a question here from Sir Romel De Leon. Sir, question lang po, pwede po ba yung teaching strategies focusing on the learners using critical analysis po? Yan.
Solution na kasi ito ata. Ano po yung problema dun?
So,
Teacher
una,
Jem, baka pwede kang sumagot. Gawin nating chat box yung Facebook natin. Teacher Jem, what's the problem here ba? Why are you proposing this solution? Kasi this is a solution already. Nasa step 1, step 2 pa lang tayo. Wala pa pong solution.
Opo. So,
Ano po ba
problem
yung main concern dito? Ano ba yung problem? Hindi sila marunong mag-analyze?
or mababa ang critical analysis or critical thinking skills, no? Baka yun ang problem. Actually, it's a question from Sir Romel De Leon. So ito po
Sir
ay
Romel pala. Sorry.
Ma'am Jem
Ma'am
po
Jem,
ay
Jem, paki-ano naman po, paki-send yung message kay Sir Romel. Ayan. Sir, hanggang stage 2 lang po, no? Yes, hanggang stage 2. We will continue by 10:30. Stage 3 and 4. Stages 3 and 4. Siguro let's not let's not interchange. I know that we're looking into different areas right now, but those are just areas. They're not yet the problem themselves. So sabihin natin area, strategy, capacity building. Siguro, let's look at critical analysis. Pero ano po ba yung problema doon? Na empathy map muna po ba yung bata doon? Is innovation, did you have a question from Teacher Derek? Is innovation same to research in terms of professional credits? I don't know. Ano po ba sa DepEd yan?
sa private chat po natin.
Yun po yung critical analysis po ng mga bata. Yun yung problem. Sige, paki-empathy map pa muna yung critical analysis problem.
Okay.
Yun muna yung problema natin. Paki-empathy map ang mga bata. Sa learners lang po ba or pwede po rin sa mga teacher? Ano po ang pwede sa teacher? Gawin silang subject of innovation, education? Yes. Teacher capacity building. Kapag nagpakita po kasi ng image ay nahihirapan po ang mga bata po para ma-interpret po ang image. So you will look for solutions that will help them interpret images. Media, is this media analysis? Under area of media analysis. Okay lang po sa akin to. Pero pa-empathy map po sila. Ano kaya yung problema? Bakit kasi hindi nila maintindihan yung picture? Baka kasi print mo sa black and white teacher. Or baka hindi high quality yung picture mo. Pag gano'n, hindi kailangan ng innovation. Kailangan lang ng mag-print ng maayos. So, kailangan i-empathy map po natin yung concern natin dito. Kasi para mas malalim yung problem. Baka kasi pag nag-interview ka sa mga bata, interview yung mga bata, baka sabi nila, sir, kasi ang labo ng picture mo, 360 pixel. Level up natin, baka 1080 pixel na. So pag gano'n, hindi kailangan ng innovation po yon. Kailangan lang po matuto mag-Google search na mas magandang high quality image. At huwag mag-print sa black and white. Diba? Parang yung lang, nang nakita nating module noon, i-describe yung manga, hinog o hilaw? Black and white yung color mo. Paano ba natin? Hindi natin matitikman din yon. So yun, hindi po kailangan ng innovation. Kailangan lang maayos na printer.
Oo nga naman. Oo nga po, no? Yan. Parang very good example po yun na we must be thinking of a problem na if we dig deeper, hindi pala talaga problema na ganun na kailangan ng solution.
Diba yung sinabi kong example noon, yung isang teacher na tinulungan kong mag-dig deeper, Sabi ko nga, teacher, parang yung pagkokolekta po, pag-aayos ng collection at pag-arrange sa kanila, hindi po innovation yun. Logistical talent po yan ng teacher. At hindi ka magiging isang magaling na teacher pag hindi ka marunong mag-alphabetize, mag-folder dito, mag-folder doon, mag-envelope dito. Kasama yan sa talent natin. Tambakan mo kami ng isang tambak ng papel, kaya naming organize yan. 'Di ba? Talent mo yan as a teacher. Sabi ko, let's dig deeper. Ano ba yung concern dito? Lumabas, parental involvement. Yun. Hindi pala pag-organize lang ng ipapasa ng parents. So, hindi kailangan innovation ng ganun. Logistical concern lang yun.
Ayos yun. Ang dami kong natutunan. Oo nga naman, no? Na-appreciate ko. Yan. This is from someone called placement. Yan. Problem po yung nagpapas ng learning activities due to lack of gadget. And they are working, they are busy doing the household chores. Opo.
I suggest that you dig deeper on the problem.
Mm-mm.
Lack of gadget. So, are we pushing the wrong mode of learning to them? Tapos sasabihin pa natin, ang solution natin, video-based learning. Wala nga pong gadget. Saan sila manonood? Sa bato? Hindi po pwede yun. Busy household chores? 24/7 po ba na silang nagtatrabaho? Baka ang concern doon is time management. So paano yung dig deeper. Hindi lang pwedeng busy household chores. Kasi hindi naman sila 24/7 nagtatrabaho siguro. Tsaka mga bata nag-aaral din sila. So ano yung concern natin doon? Is it because the parents do not give premium for studies?
Mhm.
So pwedeng ano ba na sanang problema? Sa bata ba o sa parent? So dig deeper kasi akala natin bata ang tamad. Bata ang nagsasubmit. Yung pala, ang parents nila, pinapatrabaho sila. So sino ang problema doon? Bata ba o ang magulang? Ano yung kailangan natin? Kailangan ba natin sila i-workshop ng ganito, ganyan, ganyan, whatever. Okay? So dig a little bit deeper, sir, placement.
Mm-mm. Kailangan bang parental guidance? Ay, ano yun? Parenthood, training or
Parenting.
something? Parenting.
Ganun.
Sir, I remember, sir, tama po ba? Kumbaga siguro off topic ako, sir, na. Pero if you are, parang ang isang possible solution if you are innovating is yung to ask for donation. Possible yun, parang narinig ko last time.
Philanthropy. Pero,
Mm-mm.
pero parang medyo less effort ata sa teacher or whoever. Tsaka, by the way nauubos din yung yung donation. Kung lahat tayo ang innovation natin, donation, nauubos din yun. At eto baka kailangan nating mag-reflect. If we keep on asking donations, what does it say about us as a community, as a school? Hindi masama. It's okay. We help each other, communities. Pero baka we can expand further. Not all problems will be answered by donations. Ang problema mo pala parental engagement, nagpa-donate ka. Di ba? O ang problema mo pala, ganito lagi ko sinasabi. Ang problema mo pala critical analysis pero nagpa-donate ka, pinapintahan mo yung classroom mo. Di ba parang ganon? Papinta ng classroom, papinta ng bakod. Sabi ko, yung joke namin no elementary kasi galing akong public school. Napintahan na po namin lahat ng pipintahan. Pati bato po, napintahan na rin namin. So, okay lang, mga ganyan. So, but not too much. Yan. Of all issues and concerns with resolution, the end of the discussion is always a teacher factor. Not in general, but in most cases. Sa reality. Alam mo, naniniwala ako nga na wala naman talagang hindi magaling na teacher. Baka yung kailangan nating i-focus is teacher capacity building. I don't know. Hindi to pwedeng i-answer lang ng isang innovation. Baka as a whole system, we need to reflect on what we can do further. Ayan. Kaya nga 'di ba, open naman ng DepEd to discussions, how to focus, ganyan-ganyan. It's just that this will not be answered overnight.
Po yun, systemic, sir.
Yes, kaya pagdasal din natin ang mga leaders natin ng government, pro-education din. They have a special place for education. Kasi hindi lang DepEd yan kasi that's a government na yan, perspective. Sabi nga ni Sir, systemic. Yeah.
Kasi sir, possible from universities pala, pwede i-root cause natin yung teacher education institution, pwede ring i-review kasi performance gap ang
Yes.
pinag-uusapan dyan.
Yes. Sabi ko nga nag-talk ako teacher education innovation. Sabi when I hire teachers right now, I look at the skills. And some teacher education institutions are still very, very traditional.
Yun nga po sir.
Diba?
Kaya
Teacher
pagdating sa...
education, yeah,
Mm,
teacher education institution, they never teach, some of them never teach teachers how to do online teaching and learning, how to do technology. Isang course lang yan. Sabi ko,
yes.
bakit yung pagtuturo ng assessment, ang bias is face-to-face? Nung nagka-pandemic, kaya hirap na hirap tayo. Kasi, the people in the teacher education institutions are also trained in a very traditional way.
Mm,
Sorry, very straightforward. I spoke already in front of may pa-confer may ano kami noon discussion. It was in UP. I was invited by Dr. Dina Ocampo and it was a panel. There's CHED, there's teacher, ano ganyan ganyan, DepEd and everything. And I was there to speak out for innovation and technology. Sabi ko parang if you look at the curriculum that we have for teachers, future teachers, I don't think they speak about technology yet. I don't think they speak about innovation. I don't think there's a course on project-based learning makerspace.
tama po sir.
Always ano, 'di ba? Parang it's not that the courses are bad, it's just that they might need some updating.
Mm.
Ayun.
Kasi
Pero
I
at that time, Ched told me and the teaching organization, they were improving. Kasi nagpakita sila ng draft ng improvement ng
yes.
curriculum. I hope, ayan.
Yun sir kasi na ako rin sir dahil I taught in in HEI, parang there is a gap between theories and practice, no? Kaya nga
Exactly.
minsan pagka-graduate ng student sa teacher education institution, pagdating sa field, naku-culture shock because
Mm-mm.
hindi na nai-introduce ang mga practices sa field mismo. Though merong mga field studies, no, pero parang hindi na-emphasize gaano. So dapat ma-fill in yung gap ng practice at saka ng theories na tinuturo sa classroom ng universities. Sir, from Sir Pat Sison po ng Angeles City National High School, is it possible to address the concerns of the students and teachers at the same time? Like an innovation in integration across learning areas? Yan po yung tanong niya, sir.
Malaki-laki lang yan na scope actually. Kung kakayanin nyo, okay lang. Pero think of the solution that would come out of it and the process of making sure that everything gets targeted. Sabi ko nga, start small muna. Start small. You might be spreading yourself too thinly.
Mm-mm.
Diba? Parang baka mga surface level lang yung masagot natin.
Tama po.
Diba? Yeah.
Mm-mm. We have question here from Ma'am Rachel Henson Bondok again po. Sir, paano? Ewan ko sir kung na-address na to. Tama po ba kung na-address na? Yan, sir, paano
Not
po kung hirap si teacher mag-communicate sa mga students? Yung ginamit na halos yung platform para magkaroon ng communication kay students.
Ang tanong ko, did you exhaust everything? Dumalaw ka sa bahay? Ayun.
Yun ang
I'm not
pinaka-last resort.
I'm not comparing teachers, pero my mother is a junior high school araling panlipunan. So, may cellphone siya, bumibisita din siya. Yung tita ko, nagturo ng microscope, dinala niyang microscope bahay-bahay. Or sa learning center nila. Kasi sabi ng tita ko, Diyos ko, ang pangit na nga ng pagka-print. Hindi pa nila makikita yung totoong microscope. Kaya hawak-hawak yung microscope.
Oh.
So, nagamit na po natin. Of course, may coordination with the barangay. So, everything. So, when we say exhaust everything, literally everything. Kaya mahirap maging teacher ngayon. But you are called unsung heroes not for nothing, di ba?
Actually, sir, meron joke dyan na kapag ka nagpa-check up ka sa doktor at kailangan mong mag-follow up check up at hindi ka pumunta, hindi naman pupunta sa bahay mo yung doktor, sabi niya. Eh, anong punto mo dun sa teacher? Sabi ko, kailangan pa bang pupunta sa bahay? Sabi niya. Well, that makes us different. Sabi ko sa ibang profession. That we really go beyond po, no? We really cross miles. Yung beyond, extra miles nga sinasabi. That makes a teacher different among other professions. Biro mo, sir, hindi na nga nagpaparamdam, hinahabol mo pa. No?
Yes. At ang mga doktor wala silang pakialam kung sino ka basta magbayad ka.
Mm. So,
Ang mga
doctors are
teachers
curing,
din gano'n, 'di ba?
oh,
Hindi naman lahat
doctors
ng
are
mga
curing
doctors
diseases, no?
hindi naman ga hindi naman lahat ng mga doctors gano'n. May mga doctors din na lumalapit sa community, 'di ba? May mga doctors din naman na lumalapit sa community. So not all doctors are like that, 'di ba?
Doctors to the barangay, very good example if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, doctors without border. It's just that we need to define our own career, our own vocation as teachers. Hindi tayo parang mga business persons that our
Yes.
work ends by 4 p.m. Hindi nga eh. Ikaw nga pag nakita ka ng student mo, gusto mo ba pag nakita ka ng student mo after 5 p.m., hindi ka na na-respeto as teacher? If you demand respect as a teacher even after school, then you must be ready also to carry with you, 'di ba, your whole pagiging teacher,
Tama
'di
po.
ba? Minsan nahu-hurt tayo, "Ay, hindi ako nirespeto ng batang 'to, teacher pa naman niya ako." Eh, nasa ano, basketball court kayo sa plaza. Kung gano'n pala ang expectation mo, then you must act as a teacher all the time.
Mm.
Gano'n lang 'yun. You expect things, then you must be able to do things. Sorry, very straightforward, pero gano'n talaga ang buhay ng teacher.
Kaya it's more than an occupation, sabi nga, it's a vocation. Yeah. I like how the questions were answered. They were unfiltered and will make us all reflect. Thank you, sir. So from Sir Michael Soral. Yan. Tama naman, sir, ang pagsasabi ng ano yung tapat, pagsasama ng maluwat. Parang kailangan natin 'yon.
Ano pa,
Oh,
meron pa, what if po they're already working dahil nawalan trabaho magulang, so yung studies ng bata ang nag-suffer. Yun nga, paano natin i-address yun? Yun po yung homework ko sa inyo. Kayo po yung mag-iisip ng solusyon. Hindi po ako, kasi hindi ko alam yung konteksto ninyo, 'di ba? So kayo po, kaya nga sabi natin brain exercise 'to, tignan niyo wala nga akong masyadong input, eh.
oo,
Brain
guys.
exercise ito.
Mm. So I think from Augusto, Jansel David, very straightforward. Problem, creating video lesson. Ang tinutukoy niya ay I think seasoned teacher. He must be
Old
talking about
generation teacher,
oh,
mga
seasoned
boomers
teachers.
ba. Ano, but if this is a problem, this is capacity building. But how do you measure impact? This is okay with me. How do you measure impact? 'Di ba? Dapat ready kayo. Okay lang, this is teacher capacity building. Teacher skill acquisition. That's okay with me. Mag-empathy map ka lang. Dapat intindihin mo, sinabi mo old generation teacher. So intindihin mo yung anong problema nila, yung concern nila. Hindi lang yung sige mag-session tayo, mag-iLock tayo, mag-lock tayo o labas niyo yung laptop ninyo. Parang wala namang puso. Hindi ka naman nag-empathy map. Alam mo ba
Mm.
yung concern nila? So, i-empathy map ninyo para you understand the real problem.
Ito naman, sir, from Dr. Vicky Tan of ACNHS. Sir, pwede ba yung gumawa ako ng reservation system for travel services that they can read access offline since medyo mahirap mag-connect sa internet sa school, either fluctuating or no connection at all? Yan ang sabi po niya, sir.
Pwede naman, you can start with this, pero travel services lang ng reservations. Lahat ng mga pwedeng ipa-reserve, gawan mo na ng ano, gawan mo na ng mas magandang way. Dr. Vicky, kasi pag nagawa mo sa reservation ng travel services, baka may reservation din kayo ng library, reservation ng computer room, reservation ng ganito. Kasi feeling ko pare-pareho lang yaman ng framework of reservation. So ano na, gawin mo ng whole school reservation system. 'Di ba? Ganda niyan.
Ito naman from Ma'am Vilma Panela of Senior High School of Angla City National High School. Sabi po niya yung difficulties of grade 11 in solving problems in functions. So yun yung identified problem niya.
So ito ba yung linear function, quadratic function, logarithmic? Kahit ako po nahirapan ako diyan.
Ako nga po, sir, hindi ako nahirapan eh. Hindi ko alam 'yan.
Ako hindi ko lang siya alam ko yan pero nahirapan ako, pinilit ko lang sarili ko para pumasa ako, eh. I mean, Kasi yung honors ko malalaglag ako, 'di ba?
Ako
Pero yun
bigla
nga,
akong naisip, meron palang gano'n, sabi ko.
teacher kung sino man kanino 'tong problem na 'to, isipin po sino po yung nandun? Sino yung concern niyo, yung bata po o baka kasi yung approach ni teacher din?
Ayun, tama, tama po. That's from Ma'am Vilma Panela of
Oo,
Senior High
kasi
School.
ganito po, 'di ba, tinuro niyo na ito, hindi pa rin nila nage-gets. Feedback 'yon sa the
Mm,
way you are teaching it.
mm.
Kahit matalino, hindi nage-gets, matakot na po kayo. Warning 'yon. Hindi dahil
Okey,
hindi po kayo effective teacher, baka yung strategy needs a little
yun,
adjustment. Huwag nating personalin lahat ng mga bagay-bagay. Baka
tama.
kailangan nating mag-adjust.
Oo nga naman, na-enlighten din ako dun, sir. So, kasi most of the time we really blame students, 'no? Oo nga,
A
baka
good
i-mute
teacher
ko na.
pala, a good teacher is a very reflective one. Ang teacher hindi natatakot mag-adjust.
Mm,
At ang teacher hindi nadyajahe, tinatamad mag-adjust,
mhm.
'di ba?
Very nice. Ako na-appreciate ko po 'yon.
Ayan, tapos na po ba tayong lahat? It's 10:30. I would like to move to the next part, but if not yet done, baka we can extend a little more, 5 minutes. Madali lang naman yung discussion ng next part. Brain exercise kasi ulit 'yon.
Opo, bigyan niyo lang po kami ng cue mga sir, ma'am. So what we are doing right now is identifying the problem, the area of kumbaga improvement, no? So kailangan talaga mauna yung problem. Kasi nga no, sir, we tend to be presumptuous when it comes to ito yung problema. Ito agad-agad yung solution na sinasabi namin. Samantalang we do not yet have a deep understanding of the problem. Kagaya nga nung binanggit niyo po sir yung sa mangga, oo nga naman no, hindi naman pala problema yung hindi nila analyze yung image. Isa paraan lang pala ng pagka-print niya. So, yun. So, importante talaga na we really have a clear understanding of the problem. And that is what we are currently doing right now. So,
You
yun
know the
po.
reason why I'm being straightforward kasi baka hindi ka rin matuwa sa sarili mo.
Tama.
Na-realize mo, innovation ba talaga 'to? Ikaw mismo nag-doubt na sa sarili mo. Kasi nagawa mo lang naman by changing the color or the printer ink. Ikaw mismo baka ma-frustrate ka tapos sasabihin pa ng principal mo, "Please share your innovation." 'Di ba, medyo ikaw na mismo yung mahihiya at some point, sabi mo, "Oo nga naman." 'Di ba? So,
Nagpalit
I
siya ng
mean,
printer.
print lang ng printer. So, I don't know, unless you want it bigger, sasabihin mo yung innovation mo as ano, how to use, media, photos, media more effective, mga ganyan, to engage students. Tas may strategy ka ng kasama dun, 'di ba? Parang si sir kanina yung pinakita niya yung visuals.
We really need a little bit of skepticism para
Mm.
ma-make sure natin na what we are doing is really an innovation. So, oo nga naman. Okay. So, we are
Medyo lang ha. Sorry Sir Adrian, yung mga non-teaching na kasama natin dito, please don't hesitate. A lot of you might be looking into making efficiency happen in your organization. That's okay. You will
Mm,
have a different treatment. You will have
mhm.
a different treatment of innovation. I remember kasi like for example, yung mga EPS natin, PSDS, you can have a freedom actually. Pwede kayong mag-overlap, making work more efficient or a bigger program for the whole school. Actually, isang magandang innovations actually school visitation. You operationalize sharing of best practices. Siyempre, bago muna meron kang phase 1. Kailangan may best practices ang mga schools. 'Di ba? Mga sister schools, so supporting each other, mga ganon. Let's erase competition. Let's put in more collaboration. Mga ganon. Or growth mindset for the whole area or cluster. Mga ganon. Pwede rin yun.
Natutuwa talaga ako, sir. Kasi, I mean, deep inside, sir, parang meron akong light bulb moment na, oh nga no, aha, ganun pala talaga yon. Kasi right now, I'm currently on a study. It's a action research. Bigla ko, sir, kasi parang pinag-combine ko ang teacher and student. And then you were actually pointing out that we should really narrow it down. So ngayon, instead, ang nangyari, I do have an action research then I do have a separate innovation, no? So meron akong dalawang output agad dun sa nabanggit mo kanina. So very important. What I'm trying to drive at sir here is it is very important that we really kumbaga narrow down no yung problem. Wag masyadong ano baka yung sinabi mo sir na expression kanina that we might be spreading ourselves into a very thin ano
Yeah.
parang palaman no imbis na
Kasi
may
ang
lasa walang lasa.
Kasi ang gaganda, like for example, yung mga Dear EPS natin, if you're coming from a top level perspective, if I'm a PSDS or an EPS, or maybe I'm a curriculum whatever, instructional leader, if I see that there are a lot of innovations or education initiative for reading, I could create a reading festival where schools could share their best practices for reading and they can adapt them. Para adapt an education initiative. In that way, you help each other scale it up,
Okay.
'di ba? Parang ganon. There's a good question there. Can we pick that up?
It's from a Facebook user. How might we help the ELS teachers to accomplish several forms before, during, and after presentation, portfolio assessment, and revalida faster and accurately?
Ano po yung revalida?
Revalidation,
Revalid.
sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
revalid that faster. How might we help ALS teachers to accomplish several forms before, during, and after presentation? Marami bang forms si ALS teachers? This is a good one if we're looking into efficiency. So I'm thinking this is a leader or something. Si Facebook user. Sorry, hindi po namin kikita yung pangalan nyo. Facebook user lang. Or if this is another ALS teacher also making them their work. I'm good with this. Efficiency ito eh. Ayan. Pero ang measure of impact nito, ita-time mo kung gaano sila ka-efficient mag-ano. Pero kung isang oras before, isang oras after, after the intervention, parang wala pong atang efficiency doon. So, if that's the case, I don't know. We'll try.
Sir, I just want to ask that yung measure of impact. When you say measure of impact, ito ba yung sir yung halimbawa you come up with a mechanism that you gather feedback doon sa in-implement mo, sir? Ganun po ba?
Oo. I mean,
That's
not
one.
just feedback, but results.
Ah,
Depende kasi sa mini-measure mong data.
yes.
Tinitreat mong data, ginagather. So, student outcome, yan, may results, mga student test scores. Doon yung papasok yung sa ano natin, yung, ang tawag
Mm.
doon, t-test. May mga
Pre,
independent, may
pre-test o
pre-test, post. Kasi sabi mo, you want to check the critical analysis strategy. Paano mo i-check yun? Hindi sa recitation. It's the student outcome sa test. So, you compare the pre-test, post-test. Depende if you're comparing
two
comparing
groups.
two groups, your gumagawa ka ng randomized controlled trial, maging independent, tama ba? Independent t-test comparison
Depende
post,
kung
di ba?
normal ang data kasi we have parametric and non-parametric
Yes,
or
yes.
significant differences. To kung three
Pag
groups, ano pa, ganyan.
Yes. Pag ano naman, pag ang mine-measure mo naman is efficiency, baka yung measurement mo is how fast they submit. Halimbawa dito, yung submission of form. Yung sinasabi ko, baka yung measure mo yung pre and post intervention. About 2 oras pa rin pala silang nagsasubmit. So parang ano ba? Parang hindi ata bumilis. Or kasi dito, I have a note on efficiency. Hindi dapat ang measure lang pabilisan. Kasi baka ma-sacrifice yung quality. Ako
Quality.
maghihintay na lang ako ng 2 oras, at least wala akong i-edit, ibabalik.
Tama.
Pero isang minuto pala nilang sinubmit, ta's ang dami-daming mali. Parang bagsak ata tayo on quality.
Oh, ay, thank you so much. Talagang
Yeah.
ano sir, naka-align sa ano, sa research. So madali po. Kung may idea po yung mga kasama natin, I think they would understand sir what you're saying. Yun pala yung impact, no.
Ayan. Ayan, nasagutan natin yan. From Trident, Remulio.
Ito sir, I think this is a very specific one from Ma'am Arceli kasi from HRDDC ma'am. So how do we measure the impact of the implemented capacity building for teachers? Yan.
For capacity for building for teachers, some of us kasi do evaluation at the end. Is the speaker well? Is the teacher value well? 'Di
Mm.
ba? Parang may evaluation tayo, but research says the ultimate measure of impact for capacity building is when the teacher applies it in the classroom. And hindi lang apply ha, ano lang, may isa pang step na higher, and it increase student outcome.
Mm. So you
Kasi
do
nagti-training ka
classroom
sa teacher.
observation nun, sir? No?
Yes, classroom observation or test results.
Kaya ka may
Triangulation of data,
tama po.
'di
Oo
ba?
nga naman.
Yun yung ano ha, yun yung sinasabi natin sa professional development. Kaya sa school namin, hindi pwedeng magtre-training ka tapos hindi mo naman pala ano yung unang validity, ano yung unang evidence of application? Lesson plan,
Mm.
yung module mo.
Mm.
Kaya nga sabi ko, wag niyong gawing Biblia ang modules ninyo. Nag-training ka pala ng ano paggamit ng brain transplant. Tapos yung module na binibigay sa inyo walang brain transplant. So paano mo i-apply kung wala kayong agency to apply new approaches?
Mm.
It doesn't make a sense now. Pa-training tayo ng pa-training pero hindi naman ina-apply ng teacher. Una mong anong evidence of application? It's the change in the lesson plan. 'Di ba? Tapos hindi lang change of the lesson plan, document lang 'yan eh.
Mm.
Tingnan mo si teacher, ini-implement ba niya? Do'n mo
Mm.
din makikita na, nag-training siya pero parang hindi naman niya na-apply ng maayos. Oh, pangalawa pa lang 'yun. Ano yung pangatlo, which is the best way of measure? Tingnan niyo, nung nagpa-brain transplant siya, sorry, favorite ko yung brain transplant. Ginamit niya sa classroom niya sa araling panlipunan, pero yung student test result niya, negative yung test, skewed to the whatever. Negative
Mm.
yung result, bumagsak nga sila 100%. So in short, walang effect. 'Wag na tayong magpadala sa training ng brain transplant. Wala palang effectivity yan, eh. 'Wag na
Yes.
tayong maniwala sa mga advocate ng brain transplant. Or puwede ring, ano kaya yung mali na ginawa ni teacher? Baka hindi brain yung na-transplant niya, baka liver. I mean,
Tama.
you understand my point, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
ang ultimate way of measuring the effectivity of capacity building, ang dami niyan, pero the most effective is may improvement ba sa student outcome?
Mm.
Ang hirap, 'di ba? Kaya nga hindi tayo basta-basta nagpapadala ng training, pa-train tayo ng pa-train, hindi naman bumabalik sa atin. If you're a school administrator, that's what I call as return of investment.
ROI, tama po.
Sorry, admin hat ko na yung nagsasalita ha.
Sir, I want to have a rejoinder on that, the student outcome. Therefore, we really have to ensure that when we assess our students, since we are relating it to teachers improvement because of capacity building, we need to make sure that teachers are also um, assessing our students properly. Yung tama po yung way of assessment nila. Kasi minsan, sir, meron tayong question sa data integrity, lalo na pag nagre-report ng MPS. So, minsan sobrang taas, baka ino-overrate natin pala ang mga estudyante. So, we really need to assess our students correctly. Yun po yung isang punto ko doon kasi we are using it as basis for decision making. So, para yung decision natin ay talagang tama yung pagde-decide natin, dapat tama rin yung basis natin ng data. Ganun yung ibig kong sabihin, sir.
Yes. May isa pang problem, sir. Before I proceed, 10:45 na, I wanna proceed to the next part. Pero
Yes, sir.
I have one more problem. One more problem. My students are just copying the answer key in module. They did not answer it with solutions. Ano kayong pwedeng I don't think you need an innovation for this. Tanggalin mo yung answer key. Pero eto lang ha, very straightforward answer. Kung ang source ng copying ay yung answer key, edi tanggalin mo yung answer key. Right? Para mapilitan silang sumagot. Now, what is the purpose of the answer key there? Dahil tinanggal mo yung answer key, then you must fill in a way to serve the purpose of that answer key. Kung ang answer key ay feedback, then maghanap ka kasi tinanggal mo ang source of feedback, answer key, which is hindi naman nagiging source of feedback but nagiging source of copying lang. It defeats the purpose. Tanggalin mo. Now, how do you deliver feedback na? Diyan ka maghanap ng solution. Home visitation, radio walkie-talkie, video conferencing, depende on the context of your students.
Ako sir, may practice ako diyan because sa instructional design ng SLM sa module, no, it is a must na talagang merong answer key. Pero ang problem nga, nangongopya siya. So what I do, I create a different assessment na align pa rin sa module na wala ng answer key. So in that
Yes.
way, makikita mo talaga kung nagbasa yung student o hindi. Kasi that is my practice, sir. I create a separate assessment other than those in the module. Kasi hindi po natin matatanggal yung answer key dahil part ng instructional design ng SLM yon.
Ayan, which makes sense. Baka kasi yung answer key lang yun is, baka it's for
Yes, sir.
formative in nature, so you can still add another way of testing them, which is good for me. Unless we're violating a policy or guideline, I would not suggest. Bahala na kayo doon. But for me, I'm just answering. Oh, bawal tanggalin ang answer key. O nandyan na
Yes.
palang answer key. O, ano yung pwede nyong gawin dito? Give up na lang? Hindi. Learned helplessness no na. Teachers, wag tayong mag-learn helplessness. Minsan kasi ang mga teachers parang kinakawawa na rin sarili nila. Wala nang maisip na ano. No. Be creative. Mag-isip kayo. Sabi nga ni sir, nakaisip siya. Oh, what if magbigay ka ng ibang ano na walang answer key? Pwede naman yun. You're not removing the answer key. O, di ba? Creative pa
Just
rin
add
yun.
additional ano. Yun ang purpose, I think, if you're using SLM, the purpose of learning activity sheet, yun yung kumbaga
Oo.
enrichment or supplementary material to see if they really have a good retention with the module. Ganun siya.
Tapos, kung
Kailangan
gusto
lang
talaga
masipag gumawa.
Oo. Kung gusto talaga ni teacher, sabi nga kailangan masipag kang gumawa ng test. Pero kung ikaw yung teacher yung sabi, anak ko, another test na naman, ang daming tatrabahuin. Eh, anong gusto mong solution natin? Kung ikaw ngang teacher, ayaw mag-isip ng solution. Very sorry, very straightforward, sabi niyo unfiltered. But then again, I want to address that. 'Di ba? Sino magbibigay ng solution dito? Right? So, minsan tingnan natin yung the way we think of solutions. It's what we call as learned helplessness. That's in psychology, right?
Mm.
Yung parang feeling natin wala na tayong magagawa. Parang tayo na mismo ang kumawawa sa sarili natin. Learned helplessness. Huwag tayong ganun.
Mm.
Right? Kasi kung tayo teachers ganyan, paano ba yung bata na tinutulungan natin? Diba?
Yes, sir. Tsaka yung teachers, sir, we need to start becoming a good assessor. Yung paggawa ng assessment, kailangan karirin namin yon because that's our way. That is actually expected of us.
That's your
Para
bread and butter as a teacher.
Kasi
Dapat marunong
minsan,
kang gumawa ng test.
nako-confine kasi tayo minsan kung ano na yung ready-made. We stick to that, which is not good para sa akin po. We really need to create a new one. Na yung target, yung objective pa rin, ang nai-hit natin. Pwede naman tayo mag-design ng iba.
Last before I pick up the next part from Teacher Vito. Teacher Vito Dominic says, I have a program here at our school that helps at-risk learners finish their schooling. Ask ko lang po if okay lang po ba one program ang lahat ng types at risk of learners, separate programs. Depende. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, di ba, understand the context and needs of your students. You can have one program that answers the concerns of many if they answer everything. If not, baka kailangan mong i-adjust ng kaunti. So, it really depends. Hindi ko rin po kilala kasi yung profile ng mga at-risk students ninyo. I would trust that you look into it. But don't be afraid if you realize na, yung one program ko pala, I need to adjust for this type of at-risk learners. If that's the case, then adjust and adjust. Okay lang yan sa akin. Ang pinakaayaw lang natin is, ayaw nating mag-adjust and pinipilit natin, parang one size fits all. That's the greatest enemy of education, by the way. The idea that everything will fit in one size fits all mentality. Large yung bibilhin natin kasi lahat sila large. Hindi may XL, may 2XL, may baby T. Ganon ang problem natin with education, factory model.
Diverse
Diba? It kills diversity. Diba? Ayun. Okay? Last, sir, tama po ba na kapag mag-address tayo ng root cause of the problem involving learning, we have to consider the following objectives. Input objective, output, intermediate. Sorry. Medyo nawala po ako dyan. We have to consider the following. Mag-address tayo ng root cause. Actually, for me, the first thing to consider in terms of root cause problem, you identify the root cause problem.
Okay.
Identify first the problem. Wala muna tayong objective. Susunod na po yan when you design your solution and everything. Intermediate outcome. Lastly, ultimate objective learning outcome. Hindi. Paano pag yung problem mo, hindi pala siya learning outcome? Diba? Sorry, hindi ko to maintindihan if this is pertaining to learning ba to? Learning design problem? This is the learning design problem, I don't quite get it muna. Sorry, I need more background into this.
Opo.
Remember, teacher, iba-iba kayo ng problem na sinusolve. So, sorry. Baka Teacher Agnes later on, you can, give me more information.
She's actually a supervisor, sir. So baka meron siyang pinaguhugutan na ano.
Sabi niya, opo, pag nagbigay na tayo ng solution. Yes, of course, lalabas na yan. Ano na yung objective mo? Diba? This is very detailed. If this is what being asked of you, then baka ito yung kusundin nyo. But for me, usually, what's the goal of your project? Yun lang ako, nandun lang ako sa goal of the project. I don't need, for me in my school, we don't ask for input, output. We follow our own. Ano naman kasi may research template kami, innovation template. But if that is a requirement of your organization, of your institution, then you must follow it. Yeah. Ayun. Okay. Let me just continue, Sir Adrian.
Yes, po.
Madali lang yung next part. Doon na tayo sa next stages. And for the next stages, it's called phase 2, ideating, ideating and prototyping. What is ideating? Sinabi ko na yun, ideating means to come up with different solutions. Remember, you're not thinking of your favorite solution. You're thinking of different solutions. Innovators lay their plan on how to solve or provide a solution to the problem. They identify as many solutions as they can. In the end, they need to choose the best according to 3 criteria: feasibility, effectivity, and efficiency. Feasibility means doable ba to? Pag nagpa-brain transplant ba tayo, doable ba ito? Effectivity, will the solution be effective enough to address and solve the problem? Align ba ito? Masasagot ba niya talaga yung problema natin? Efficiency, is the solution something that can be done with less effort, money, or materials? Cost effective ba to? Is it cost efficient? Right? Siyempre, kasi hindi naman unlimited yung budget natin. So, feasibility, doable, effectivity, aligned to the problem, will it solve it? And then efficiency, solution that can be done with less effort, money, or material. Okay? So, I have a sample here. So, yung problema natin is how might we help parents who cannot read and write to be better learner managers at home for kinder students who use sprint-based distance learning. Ayan. Okay? Ito yung mga solution natin. Neighbor buddy. Assign a neighbor who can read as a tutor, reading partner to help the parent. Feasible? Yes. Effective? Yes. If continuous, maybe if they have neighbors. Baka inassume natin lahat sila may kapitbahay. Paano pag walang kapitbahay? Or if their neighbors are willing, ina-assume ba natin na willing ang mga neighbor nila? Paano pag nag-work din yung neighbor or hindi sila available? Is it efficient? Yes, but needs material from the school. Online mentoring, ayan, cost efficient ba? Yes, if parents have access. So nandyan lahat. Sasagutin nyo yung matrix na ito. Solution, feasibility, effectivity, efficiency. And then in the end, you will write, the best solution is blank. Kailangan nyo nang identify yung best solution. Then, it should undergo an analysis. Is the solution fundamental redesign, incremental improvement? Is it invention, first time? Is it a replication? Is it nagawa na ba? Creation, adoption, who initiates it? Kayo ba or outside? And then, you now have to prototype. Ilalagay nyo na yung short description ninyo, yung goal, purpose of this education project, area of focus, participant, and procedure. Material, skills, and collaboration, partnership. Ayan. Ito yung madugong part po kasi you will now have to come up with your solution. Okay? You now have to ideate solution. focus on many solutions and then come up with one best solution. Pwede din kayong halimbawa, may solution A, solution B kayo. You can put them together. 'Di ba? You can marry solutions if you think they would be more effective if you marry them. And then prototyping, ayan, ilalagay nyo na ano yung description, ano yung goals, ano yung purpose ninyo. Ayan. And the procedure, how do you plan it? Are there any question? Ayan, challenging na ito, di ba?
Yes, sir. So just shoot your question if you do have questions po, no? Para guided po tayo sa ginagawa nating activity for this morning. I-post nyo lang po. So ito na yung parang ano na siya, no, yung outline mismo, sir, no, nung
Oo.
innovation na
Just
i-implement.
just follow muna the sample, ha? Yung template natin, huwag nyo munang isipin kung paano nyo ile-layout ito. Ito muna yung parang draft natin. Ayan.
Sir, doon po sa taas, parang XX lang lalagay, sir, dong ever done.
Ayan.
Tama
Check
po.
or X, bahala na po kayo.
Okay.
Basta ma-mark ninyo kung ano yung type niya.
Ayos. Oo nga po, no. So, pwede ring replication, o, di ba? Pwede palang replication.
And on different, may setting naman kayo, di ba? In different setting.
And I've read something about replication, sir. Parang sa replication din, if you could improve a certain aspect of what you are replicating, you may do so. No? Parang nabasa ko
Oo.
yun.
Yeah, okay naman yun. Yan nga yung way of testing validity, 'di ba? Sa research.
Scalability, pasok yun, sir, yun sa pag nagre-replicate ka.
Pwede if you're adapting from another. So kung ako yung original maker ng innovation, kinuha mo siya, okay lang. That's part of my scalability. So may connection na tayo, 'di ba?
Ayos. Doon
I'm trying
pumapasok yung ano.
Yeah,
Sige po,
I'm
sir.
trying to make it more I'm opening a sample para maging mas visual sa mga teachers natin.
Sir, while you are opening, sir, doon sa scalability, yung pag ina-adapt, pumapasok din, sir, yung benchmarking doon? O iba pa yun, sir?
Pwede rin. Pero ano na yun, ha? Medyo malayo-layo na yung part na yun.
Okay po.
Okay, let me share my screen for now. I'm gonna show you an example from DepEd San Fernando. And I love this kasi kinarino ni teacher. I don't know, baka kilala nyo siya. Si Teacher Janet. Ayan, si Teacher Janet. O, di ba? Meron din kayong template na ganito, ha? Yung final output niyo may template. Draft lang natin ito, yung ginagawa ninyo. That will be your source. I will give you a template where you can parang pitch presentation para ma-pitch niyo yung keynote. So, Master Teacher 1, ayan. Rational and context. Meron siyang rational. Learn, ano ba yung project niya? Project SBA, Snowball Effect in Teaching Subject-Verb Agreement. Yan. Anong sabi niya? Learning the subject-verb agreement is crucial in teaching writing among learners. The concept of tenses verbs is a difficulty that the young learners find hard to learn and remember. The use of simple linking verbs, am, is, and are, and simple verbs in their present, past, future tenses are very essential elements in writing simple sentences. The milk in grade 3 English requires the learners to write a diary on its fifth week. This will also serve as a bridging problem for grade 3 learners. Program pala. Ayan. Yan yung context niya. Ang problema niya paggamit ng mga linking verbs. Okay, so snowball effect ang gagamitin niya. Ano yung problem niya? The difficulty in constructing sentences among students in grade 3. We need to develop ways to make learning more interesting, dynamic, and entertaining, especially now that we can teach face-to-face. So remote learning setup. Ito yung intervention solution niya. Ayan. This is the measure of impact. So one group, pre-test, post-test design, social research method. Yan. And then, this is the timeline of implementation, assessment. I-assess nila yung mga bata na sasama sa intervention, may pre-test sila. And then, step 2, observation and application, giving worksheets and SIM, asking feedback after worksheets. And step 3, post-test, check progress, performance, result. So, ayan. Plan for Scalability and Sustainability. Ayan. Step 1, Q2 to 2021. Pursuing the innovation. Ayan, step 1 niya. Gawin muna niyang innovation. Step 2, utilization of innovation in the different sections in grade 3. Bakit? Ang daming step 4. Step 4, utilization of innovation at the primary level, and then utilization of innovation from grades 1 to grade 6. So step-by-step process. There, that's an example. But don't worry about measure of impact. Doon muna kayo sa first part. That's an example of a solution that was shared, done during our workshop. Ayun. So any questions, teachers, about the work that you will do until 12? So meron tayong isang oras to do this.
Ayan. Ako sir, di ako makakaano. Hindi ako makagawa. Later on, ipa-fast track. Pero yung kanina sir na pinakita mo, impact of, ano ba yun? Measure of impact. Kumbaga
Measure of impact.
sa research paper, para lang po makarelate yung mga audience, kumbaga yun ang methodology section natin sa paper. Nandun yung, kaso congested
Methodology,
na.
data gathering.
Pati yung
Data
research
driven.
design sir, no, na nandun din.
Research design.
So
Mamaya,
para,
titignan natin yung impact measurement. Dudugo ulit yung ilong nyo kasi doon napapasok si research. Actually, si master teacher, natuwa siya kasi may innovation na siya na
May
intervention din na pang-action research din niya. So ano siya, may research siya, 2 to 3 birds in one stone. Sabi naman ng EPS, hindi naman pala kailangan iba-iba.
yes.
Para hindi, kasi sabi ng EPS nila or yung gusto namin may innovation kahit research. Pero since hindi nyo naman magagawa pag iba-iba niyan, love namin kayo. So isa na lang muna. At least on their part, may masasubmit, may mache-check sila. Di ba?
Yes, sir. Actually, there is a certain research design that caters all, pati po yung innovation. That is what we call the research and development, sir. Kaya may part na development, doon kasi pumapasok yung innovation. Yung when you develop. And if, kumbaga sir, suggestion lang, if our teachers are considering the innovation as a research, the research design should be R&D, developmental research. Yan. Kasi may pretest poses din kasama yung R&D automatically. Yan. 1 hour, mahaba-haba.
Kasi brain exercise po ito, sabi nga. There's a comment here from Ma'am Agnes, teacher. Connected po yan sa sinabi po ninyo na need natin makita ang impact ng training sa performance. Yes. Because of poor planning. We provide capacity this now. Our input will be capacity. Output will be capacitated teachers in that area. Then through monitoring, the head should see if there's positive change in the way teacher plans and delivers. Intermediate outcome na po yun kasi nagkaroon ng pagbabago or improvement. Really depends on how you see it. For example, kasi I'm just giving us an example. In our school, our final measure of outcome is actually improved learning outcome. Depende sa sa requirements or depende on what you're requiring. Sa school namin, it's actually hindi lang dapat sa lesson plan. Actually, na-implement dapat siya at nakikita. So, parang yun yung measure of outcome talaga for PD. Professional development for us. So, depende. If that's in your case, then that's okay. Intermediary outcome, yung improve teaching. Pero minsan kasi kahit improve teaching, it does not always equate to improve learning yan, ha?
Yes, sir.
Hindi yan direct agad. So, parang hindi yan parang we don't assume that just because teacher taught well, ang teacher taught well, ang measurement niya hindi yung tuwang-tuwa yung mga bata, ganyan, tuwang-tuwa, pumapalakpak sila. Palakpak sila ng palakpak, yung pala pagdating sa test, bokya. 'Di ba? Minsan may mga batang ganun, tuwang-tuwa sa klase mo, palakpak ng palakpak, tuwang-tuwa, ayan, sumisigaw, tumitili, nag-e-enjoy sa lesson mo. Pagdating sa test, Bakit bagsak pa rin? Yung pala natuwa lang kasi si teacher nag-TikTok approach siya. Natuwa lang yung bata kasi TikTok pala. Di naman pumasok sa utak. Ayun, yun yung sinasabi natin na not all when we speak about engagement, hindi fun, hindi tilian, hindi hiyawan. Ang engagement, nagme-measure yan sa academic output.
So we really have to redefine engagement. So the way we see engagement, hindi pala yon. Yan.
Ay, hindi. Hindi lahat ng mga tumitiling klase at tuwang-tuwang klase, ibig sabihin, baka nagjo-joke lang si teacher.
Oo nga, sir.
When you look at engagement, student-learner engagement, there are 3 aspects: emotional, behavioral, and cognitive engagement. Behavioral means the behavior actually lets them engage with the task. Engage with the task lagi, and they engage in fun and exciting. Kasi yun yung measure natin of engagement, natuwa sila o tuwang-tuwa. Hindi yun engagement, that's fun. That's only one facet of engagement. At pwede kasing hindi yan authentic engagement. 'Di ba? May cognitive engagement din. Tuwang-tuwa yung mga bata pero hindi naman sila on task. Hindi naman pala natatapos yung dapat learning task nila. Nag-TikTok lang si teacher, 'di ba? Tuwang-tuwa na yung mga bata. Hindi yon. So laging nag-i-equate yan. 'Di ba ano ba yung ultimate goal natin? Improve learning outcome. It's not even the teacher that is the terminal end. Si
Yes.
teacher, sabi nga ni ma'am, intermediary si teacher. Enabler dapat si teacher ng enabler ng improve learning outcome. Development of student. So teachers, wag tayong masyadong pa-center. Feeling kasi natin tayo yung end of it all. No. 'Di ba? Kaya nga yung mga competitions ng mga teacher, Metrobank, yung mga many faces, they don't look at the teacher alone. They look at the impact of the teacher on their students. 'Di ba? Ayan.
This reminds me of training evaluation, sir, kasi sometimes we base the effectiveness of training din based doon sa feedback ng teacher na perceptive, no, yung maganda yung resources speaker, magaling, ganyan. Pero ang actual impact measurement pala ay yung application nila dun sa classroom, no, and then yung performance.
It's okay to evaluate the speaker. Kasi minsan talagang may mga hindi magaling na speaker. Sorry, to be honest. Pwede niyong evaluate. Ibig sabihin, ay, si Sir hindi pala siya magaling, si Sir Jim. Wag na natin siya i-engage next time. Boring pala siya. Puro pala siya theory, wala naman siyang pina-output. Okay lang yun. That's okay. Kasi kailangan matauhan din yung mga ibang education experts. Matauhan sila dapat. Kasi nag-iiba na tayo ng hinahanap and they should be able to respect. We should be able to respect. Ako, if you don't want to engage me because I missed your expectation, that's okay with me. That's a feedback for me as a speaker. But then, when you're looking into capacity building of the teacher already, you don't base it on your evaluation of the speaker. You base it now on how the teacher applies it. Kaya tama si Ma'am Agnes, actually tama siya. Kung yung mga EPS natin, PSTS, you now have to monitor, even the principal. Monitoring and supervision, doon kayo papasok. Sabi lang, oy, mga early learning panlipunan, tayo, radio-based instruction tayo. Nabigyan na namin yung mga certificate and everything. Now, pupuntahan na namin kayo sa field level. Tapos sasabihin, isa doon sa ano ba, nakinig ba, nag-radyo ba ang mga student natin? Baka hindi sila kasi nakinig. 'Di ba? So,
Yes.
yun, kasama yun. Tama naman si ma'am. Ayan.
Kaya dapat careful tayo sa gamification din, sir, no? Baka ma-focus lang sila yung engagement. Na masaya lang sila sa game pero walang talagang retention doon sa lesson.
Yeah. Which, I love your word, retention. Baka ang na-retain nila sa utak nila, yung fun ng activity.
Masaya
Pero
yung laro.
yung content. Kaya nga, don't be fooled. This is what I say sa mga nag-edtech dito. Just because nag-enjoy sila sa Kahoot at wala namang na-retain sa Kahoot, pa-quiz kayo dito. Lahat na ng mga badges kinuha no ninyo. Badge collector kayo. Certified kayo dito, certified kayo doon. Pero pagdating sa bata, hindi naman nagtre-translate. I-question mo na ang badge mo. Hanggang sa'yo pala yung improvement. Naging magaling kang maggumawa ng Kahoot. Pero, di naman na-implement ng maayos. 'Di ba? So good. Kailangan nating change perspective, mindset, 'di ba?
Sir, another sir, may naalala ko. Kasi during, for example po kasi sa amin, during capacity building, one of the assessment that we do is we facilitate demo teaching. So, ibig
Mm.
sabihin, sir, kasi that's actually performance task kung na-apply niya yung training, no? So, ibig sabihin, sir, more than the demo teaching during the training, there must be a follow-up din doon sa mismong classroom niya, no? Yun yung
Mm.
sa impact, ano, sir, no? Hindi po enough yung demo teaching doon sa mismong training. So, we
At
should
sa
include in our capacity building na i-monitor din sa classroom. Tama, sir.
by extension dapat ang sasalunan niyan yung instructional leader ng school. So kung
Mm.
may master teachers, may principal, EPS, PSDS.
Okay.
Ayan. Classroom, alam naman natin pag demo teaching, ang mga teachers pakitang gilas din. Pakitang gilas tayo. What if walang nakatingin sa'yo? O, 'di ba? Kakain ka pa ba ng apoy? Eh, yun sa demo teaching, lahat na ng apoy kinain mo, 'di ba? May ano ka pa. I mean, let's be honest, we know each other. I'm
Mm.
just being honest here.
Well
When
prepared,
there
no?
are some when there are observers and ano, ang ganda ng production. What if surprise, si principal, aba biglang dumating. Eh, nakalimutan mo pala yung apoy mo sa sa faculty workroom. Anong gagawin mo ngayon? And I mean, let's be honest, teachers, 'di ba? So what do you do when no one is looking at you? 'Di ba?
Yun yung ano, yun yung sinasabi nila, you should treat your class a demo teaching every day. Kaya kailangan dapat 'pag nagtuturo ka, kailangan isipin mo laging demo teaching. Kasi ang hirap maging consistent, to be honest, sir. Yung one day best teacher ka, okay yun. Pero yung
Ako hindi.
consistency,
I don't like demo teaching because I know that demo teaching is not authentic. I'm gonna push
tama,
something to Adrian. Treat it as if it is your last day of teaching.
teaching.
How would you like your students to remember you? Hindi naman sa mamamatay ka, okay? But how would you let your students remember you if that is your last day? So in short, given that last day, how do you make sure that your impact is there?
Mm. Oo nga
Ah,
naman, tama.
alam naman natin ang demo teaching, sobrang prepared tayo niyan. Papagupit
Well-oriented
pa nga
pang
tayo.
students. So,
Oo, minsan kinakausap pa natin yung mga students. Joke
oh,
lang.
o-observe ako. Kakausapin sila. Ayan, may
Ito,
mga
so
comments kayo
si
sa
Ma'am Agnes, maganda yung comment ni Ma'am Agnes, eh, sundan sa classroom yun. Ang application ng learning from capacity, yun po ang pinakamahalaga. Yes, that should be.
intro.
That should be the case. Pero remember ha, dapat sinasalo kasi yan. Sinasalo ng principal, ng master teacher, sinasalo ng sino man ang instructional leader.
Yan.
Ang
Dadumi.
baka sabihin din ng DepEd sa atin, ano ba yan, wala tayong ROI? Nagpa-training tayo? Or teachers, by the way, for every training that you do, you're shelling out, you're investing yung funds.
That's
Pera ng
public
taong
funds,
bayan
sir.
yan. O
I-emphasize ko, sir,
pera ng taong
public
bayan
funds.
yan.
Mm.
Sinasayang natin, 'di
Tama
ba?
po. Sa more than the attendance, no, we should think beyond our attendance sa training because public funds ang ginamit doon.
Ito naman yung mga attendance. Wag po kayong umalis ha, pagkapirma ninyo, wag kayong alis agad.
Ako po, there is an observation, sir, kung lalo na sa ganitong modality of training, no. We really turn off camera kasi ang unang reason is yung connection, no, internet connectivity, no. Pero if you are not having internet connectivity problem, you would really feel yung feel nung training, mararamdaman mo talaga if you have your camera turned on kasi iba yung may interaction na minsan kahit virtual lang may eye to eye contact po with your participants and speaker, no. Kasi may
Yes,
message din yung ano eh.
sabi ko nga pag nagte-training ako, lagi, what do you do when no one is looking at you? It's called integrity.
Yes.
Ayan. Tapos ang mga teachers magagalit pag nag-video off ang mga students. Eh kay Sir Jim nga nung nag-training tayo, video off nyo nga ako eh. Hindi naman ako nagalit eh.
Oo nga. Parang meron kasi akong klase, sir, sa college. It's computer-mediated communication. Yun ang subject, sir. Sabi ko, if you are turning off your camera kahit wala kang naman internet connection issue, you are actually committing an online antisocial behavior, sabi ko sa kanila. Kasi
Kami baliktad. Our rule is camera on. You don't make camera off the rule. Make it the exemption. Before you can
yeah,
make an exemption, you have to set the rule. So
rule
kami, for example, what I recommended was make it a rule, camera on. The exemption is camera off when there's internet connection problem.
problem.
Baliktad kasi pag inuna mo yung camera off, talagang magka-camera off yung mga bata. Lalo na
Tama.
pag if you're teaching sa primary grades. So, put first the directive. What's the expectation? And then you lay down the exemption. Ayan.
Tama. Dami kong natutunan, no? Ang swerte ko, sir, nakakausap kitang direkta, no? Swerte ko.
Para tayong may talk show po kami, so please. Kumusta po yung mga teachers? Teachers, ano po yung natin? May concern po ba tayo sa problem natin? Sir Noel, paki-bring up naman yung natin to check with them lang. Ayan. Does innovation come first, then make it as action research? Actually, pwede siyang sabay. Diba, sir, sabi natin, we can only say an innovation is an innovation if there's a measure of impact and scalability. Ay yung action research, dyan papasok ang measure of impact. So, I think, yes, you can do an education innovation na sinasabayan mo na ng research. Actually, later on, sa afternoon session natin, ayan, ito na yung pinakamatas na level, measure impact, marirealize nyo, okay, pwede palang pagsabayin. Yung huhuli lang is yung way of writing ninyo. Diba? Kasi isusulat nyo na. Kasi kahit naman pag nagre-research kayo, bakit sinusulat nyo madiretso? Hindi, may mga draft kayo Diba? Iba kasi dito, please don't think of this as wala na pong professor ang magche-check step by step. Kasi sa college or MA, di ba, may step by step kayo. Pero if you're a teacher, you're a master teacher, you're gonna submit an action research, step by step ba yung ginagawa nyo? Kung ako yung boss ninyo, sasabihin ko na, it doesn't really matter as long as you submit the final output. Siguro pag-usapan natin kung ano yung gagawin mong research, pero parang ang hirap naman ata step by step. Ako, para akong professor, siguro I would see your proposal. Pero when you write it, hindi kita babantayan na step by step. I mean, do you ask for draft na parang professor? I don't think so.
I think we have a protocol concern regarding that, sir. Kasi sa DO, correct me na lang po if I'm wrong, we really have to come up with a proposal. Yun, may writing na pong involved doon. So,
proposal is okay. Pero yung step by step na I'm gonna be breathing behind your neck as you write the different parts, parang yung mga professor sa college, parang first step at pinapasa. Parang I don't think ganon dapat. Proposal is okay, that's needed. Ako nga kakausapin pa kita. Ipapa-explain ko sa yung proposal mo para makita natin. Pero when you proceed, siguro I'll check on you, but I will not breathe behind your neck. Diba?
Well, the templates that you have asked us to use, sir, kailangan siguro i-reconcile po sa template ng DO para, kumbaga, sir, tuloy-tuloy po siya. No, we really have to reconcile kung paano siya magiging applicable sa protocol ng DO.
Yes.
Narinig so please treat,
please treat this as an exercise of transferable skill. Yung more important here than the worksheets or the format is actually the skill that you're acquiring. I'm pretty sure wala kayong empathy map sa format ninyo. But that skill of empathy map is something that could help you. That's what we call as transferable skill. Enduring understanding, enduring skill. Regardless of the format, it's the same skill. So don't worry about it. Ayan. Bahal na kayong mag-align.
Yung section, yon si Ma'am Lay. Narinig naman po ng chairman si Ma'am Dine. So I think kailangan i-reconcile natin yung section ng parts if we are to submit a proposal that we intend to come up with an innovation. So siguro may kasi sa action research po, sir, mayroon template po talaga na sinusunod. So same with innovation. Na pattern po sa training para mas madali ang and in that way yung retention talagang
and also because baka meron din kayong hinahanap in your standards or rubrics, 'di ba? That should
Mm,
also be translated in your process.
tama po.
Yeah.
And yung empathy kasi, you call it empathy, but we do have situational analysis na ginagawa po sa amin. So it's
I would
actually
yeah.
parallel.
I, I would like to push it further because you can analyze without being in the position of the person being affected by the problem.
Mm,
But what we want to happen is you analyze the situation by putting yourself in the situation. Ang situation analysis kasi outside perspective.
tama po.
But for design thinking, you be part of the you put yourself in the position of the person being affected by the problem. Pwede kasing mag-situation analysis without realizing that there is no problem at all. Pero ang design thinking, problema, human. Human ano tayo? Human-centered.
Yes.
Human-centered tayo.
Ayos. Very nice. O, di ba? Mainggit na yung mga teacher na wala dito, sir. Ako nakakapagtanong direkta. Maganda yung yung conversation, no? And napaka importante po nung discussion ngayon because this will give us a guidance on how we can practice po yung mga naiisip natin kasi marami pong mga kasamang teachers ay very critical and creative. So minsan they just don't know how to translate it into an output. So ito po with the webinar that we have currently we are very thankful to the Division of Angeles City, no? Through the leadership of our SDS, ang chairman po ng DIC po, no? Si Ma'am ESDS, no? Dr. Fernandina P. Ochenko. We are very thankful for this innovation webinar training or workshop training dahil at least ito po sana pagka we submit innovation, isang frequency po tayo. Hindi po tayo maliligaw on how we will do things when it comes to innovation. Yan. Kamusta na po kaya ang mga teachers? Tignan ko. Minsan po kasi may nagpi-PM eh.
Oo nga po. Sabihin nyo naman, it's okay to ask for help, ha? Ayan, root cause analysis ang sa atin plus listening to the voice of the targets. Which is, tama. Yeah. Oo, wag tayo yung nag-a-assume lagi ng problem. Yun kasi yung nag-a-assume
Tama.
tayo lagi. We need to touch base with our targets, with our clients. Favorite
Tama.
word natin, stakeholders, di ba? We need to touch base with them.
Sir, may submission po ba is today or progressive naman po ito?
Progressive, but sana wag naman po parang mga bata lang na pag nalaman nilang hindi naman pala deadline ngayon, di na nila gagawin. The more than the output itself, that's why I even ask you to do it individually, is I want you to undergo the process. Am I expecting perfect submission? No, I'm not. I'm not that kind of teacher. So swerte nyo pag ako yung teacher nyo, no? Pag ako teacher. I'm not expecting perfect output at this time. I just want you to undergo the process. Our next session, sir, tama ba, is March? Kailan pa yung susunod?
March 5, Saturday.
March 5, Saturday. So you have this day to really prepare everything. Ayan.
Ayun. Ayan. So after this, sir, anong next natin para iset natin ang expectation?
Actually, kung wala nang tanong, baka sayang yung bandwidth. Iniisip ko rin yung bandwidth ng mga teachers natin, if okay with you, and if okay with our chairman, for kasi ang susunod dito is actually individual na until 12 noon, and then lunch break. And we come back at 1:15.
The continuation of individual activity.
Eh kung tapos na sila, ipapasok ko na si session 3. Kasi madugo ang session 3. We have enough time naman ata. Actually, ang aga natin nagsimula ng activity kasi dapat ang input until 11:30. Pero madali lang naman kasi sabi ko madali yung input eh. So okay lang po ba para hindi na rin kayo sa bandwidth if you're just working on your own? It's okay if we end our live stream right now so that you can focus and then we come back at 1:15. Really depends. Sir, kayo mag-decide.
Opo, pingin lang po ng cue what is the pleasure of the team no, kung ano po ang gagawin natin. Because I'm reviewing also nga po, sir, yung matrix. So it is actually more on working on the activity sheet. Yan.
Mm. We would really like to produce a quality output. However, there are too much on our plate. Conflict of activities and time. We need to be focused and free from any preoccupied task. Ayan. I hope, Kasha, until yung March 5. Don't worry, yung March 5 naman, mayroon pa tayong discussion output doon. At kung sino po yung brave soul na magpipitch ng ideas nila, we will learn from their experience. Ang expectation naman po is not a perfect output, yung process. Ang paggawa ng implementation and everything nakasalalay na po sa committee natin. When will be what's the direction?
Yeah. So just waiting lang po tayo anyway. While we are waiting, you can still continue, no, working on the activity sheet. And hingi lang po tayo ng go signal so that we could end the live session kasi baka pati yung interaction natin, sir, ano din sa kanila.
Oo.
Nakaka-distract pala.
Kaya nga sabi na daldal ng daldal yung dalawang to.
Kaya so yun. Sir Noel, bigyan niyo lang po kami ng key. Then later on in the afternoon, please prepare po or expect po for the third session na po siya bale kasi it's about the essential role of data gathering and impact measurement in innovation. So ito yung kumbaga sa research data collection at saka analysis. Yan. Yan yung pag-uusapan po later on. Tagal ko na, sir, iniisip, how do we measure impact? Yun yung isang lagi kong iniisip dati pa. So at least kanina nagkaintindihan po tayo na ganun pala ang impact analysis.
Actually, yung impact analysis, what I'll be sharing is very limited because there are many different ways of measuring impact. Depende on the project eh. 'Di ba? Meron tayong impact analysis na pag big project siya, qualitative yan eh. Lalo na pag implementation of gulayan sa paaralan. Yung mga ganun. Wala ka namang itetest na student outcome dun eh. So babalik ka sa objective and goals ng project nyo. Kung ang goals of that project nyo ay kung ang very concrete ang measure of impact mo, di ba? To be able to harvest, produce 1 kilo. Yung mga ganun tipong ganun. To be able to feed and sustain lunchtime of students for 1 month. At nagawa nyo, measure of impact yun. Depende
Yung
kasi sa
yield,
project.
no?
Diba? Yield ba? Number of students fed?
Yung
Pwedeng yung mga
beneficiaries po, no?
consistency of feeding. So many ways of measuring impact. Kaya alam dapat natin yung project outcome, goals ng project natin.
Ang isa pang naisip ko dati, sir, pagka-impact kasi it should take some years. I mean, there is a prescribed years before you measure impact. Hindi ko alam kung lagi kasi nako-question yun minsan eh.
Actually, lalo na pag tawag doon, effectivity of strategy. Kasi pag research yan, sasabihin na ang limited naman ng audience mo, participant mo. Limited pa yung measurement of impact. Kaya nga minsan ang sinasuggest ko rin, ilagay siya preliminary data. Tapos laging wala naman sila mako-question pag nilagay mo naman sa limitation.
Oo. Preliminary impact. Yan ng ano.
Oo. 'Di ba? Tapos ilagay mo siya sa limitation, ilimit mo that this study was done to one section for this range. Recommendation is, kaya nga may recommendation.
Oo nga naman.
Kaya ang hirap mag-claim na innovation na agad. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, you start with education initiatives and projects or interventions.
Okay. Nagets ko yun.
Sabi, break na muna para makapag-concentrate. Sige po.
May go signal na po tayo mag-break. Ayan. Nag-break na daw, sir.
I'll see you at 1:15 for our input on impact measurement.
Yes po. 1:15. Don't forget po, no? 1:15 po, kita-kita po tayo. So you can work on your worksheet, then have a good lunch, and then balik po tayo ng 1:15. Ayan.
If there are questions, I'm via Sir Noel, ha? And Teacher Aya also. So they have, ano naman, they have my messenger. So just measure me. I'll just be here.